Doing promotional items or giveaways or any type of premium that you give to your listeners or to clients or whatever can be very difficult and can be very hit or miss. It is not hit or miss when you go to Hidden Skins because they top tier quality. Yep. I mean, for instance, our brand new straw hats.
Yeah, it's on tomadan.com right now. You can see it. Super high quality straw hats, high quality sun shirts that we produce with Hidden Skins thanks to the Danger Brain.
But they can do it all. Like Hidden Skins is your one-stop shop, and I know that's an overused phrase, but they can do everything. Vehicle wraps, they can help you with your tent. Do you need like a custom table? They can do all of that. Shirts, hats, takeaways, pens, anything you need.
Yeah, promo items, branded merch. They do embroidery, they do screen printing, all printing, anything, like Daniel said, anything.
Well, it's all in-house, too, and that's cool. Like Tom said, embroidery, that can be a tough one. They do all of that in-house. So whether you're like going to a trade show or whether you're like us, where you just need some stuff to give away to listeners or to people that you care about, Hidden Skins is the guys.
Also, do you want to see it in person? And this is kind of old school, but sometimes you're like, you see the quality. They have a showroom. It's right next to Camping World Stadium, right in downtown Orlando. You can go to hittenskins.com, HITTN skins.com. Check out their showroom, but they'll help you out with any merch and, like Daniel said, any promotional item for your business. High quality makes the difference because you start giving out garbage that you got online at the cheapest price.
Take it from the guys who gave out garbage.
Yeah. Straight Wuhan. You want Wuhan?
Yeah.
It's there.
Yeah. But it's out there if you want it.
Go to hittenskins.com for high quality merch.
And he's in his pricing.
He's not doing it right.
He's not, and his pricing is so reasonable. It's too reasonable. It's $5 for a pint and $7 for a quart. $7 for a quart. You might as well just get all quarts.
Yeah.
$2 more? That ain't make any sense, man.
What's the margins? I know like boiled peanuts must be cheap to buy.
Well, you don't buy the boiled ones; you buy the raw ones, and those are dirt cheap.
Yeah, well, and then salt. I'm getting some shipped here tomorrow from Georgia. I bought a bushel. You ever bought a bushel of green peanuts and had it sent to your house?
Hilarious.
Because your daughter is
What's that cost?
$60.
Okay, $60 for a bushel. What's a bushel? I don't even know what a bushel of peanuts is.
Me neither.
It's about half a pack.
we bought a half pack. We bought a half pack of peaches while we were there too.
How many gallons of boiled peanuts is that?
One hogshead.
I have no idea. I gotta ask.
16 imperial pints.
Is that 30 pounds of peanut? What is that? What do you think? What do you think a bushel is, Ross? 50 pounds.
Eighth of a barrel.
I think it's 50 pounds. Probably 50 pounds.
Okay, 50 pounds is what is that?
A bushel. Okay, a bushel of green peanuts is 25 pounds.
Okay, about the same as a quart of firewood. Okay,
yeah. Which is good for me because I also I've been freaking out because like my story is all over the place. But so upon getting back and
were these like orchard fresh peaches?
Oh yeah.
How good was that? It's like biting into liquid sunshine. It's amazing.
Andrea and Maisie made a peach cobbler while we were there as well. Like we basically just sat in the woods and ate food, and it was awesome. It was awesome. They made a peach cobbler of this. They're called O. Henry peaches.
Okay.
Because we did the greatest thing you can do when you get to Georgia and you go to one of those roadside little welcome places.
Yeah.
Walk in and just look around at all the old ladies and say, "Hey, what's good for bacon right now?" That's all we said.
Smart. That's actually really smart.
We had over 20 old biddies fighting it out to tell us which peach had the best flavor for bacon or which one would hold its integrity better under heat.
What a good idea.
Well, I can't take credit for it. Maisie did it. And so we...
Her daughter, my son doesn't even understand.
Just talk to anybody.
If you're like, what is baked? They start pointing at something in the fridge.
Did you know?
Like, I don't know.
So they made like
thing?
a peach... They made like a peach preserves. Did you know that cobbler? I'd never done cobbler like this. So they made the cobbler. They made it like out of flour and butter.
Yeah.
And they put it on the bottom. And then
brown sugar, maybe.
Yeah. And then they put the peach preserves on the top, so it just looked like preserves. And I was like, well, what is this?
Yeah, and it cooks through.
It cooks through.
Yeah.
Like I didn't know that.
Bubbles up to the top. I've actually done that.
Yeah, it's freaking fantastic.
It's
dude.
really good.
Best cobbler I've ever had, hands down. 10 out of 10.
And it kind of like it soaks up some of that nectar on the way through, so your cobbler's real fruity too.
Yeah.
I do like. Let's drive to Georgia, do some laundry and some baking. All right, gotta do that here.
Well, we did tubing too. I mean, like we went down the river 150 times, but yeah.
And you did like acquire ingredients from like the local area that you couldn't get here.
Well, I'm just making fun of him.
And probably there was some local laundry detergent that they used too.
I'm glad he is. Here's the other thing that's really funny. Because Maisie wanted to make that peach cobbler so bad, she had like put all the ingredients together at home. So
there's not enough room for the guitar.
So when we got to the cabin, there was a little bag that said cobbler on it, and it had all the dry ingredients in it, like ready to roll, man.
So she knew she was going to make a cobbler, but she didn't know what kind.
Pre-prepared.
She planned to make a cobbler.
Put the ingredients in the cube.
That's what she had. She had all the stuff in there.
So it could have been like an apple cobbler, a different time of year. Once she got to that stand, and the old biddies, started telling her. It could have been any cobbler.
Since you're saying that, Ella J.
It's Schrodinger's cobbler.
Ella J, where we were, that is the apple capital of Georgia. So, I mean, it's a good place to be if you like fruit, I guess. But back to the peanuts. So, Maisie and I got obsessed with them all weekend. We talked about the peanuts all week. We talked about them.
They were that good? They were waiting in line for an hour good? Or like were they like the same as you would get at a 7-Eleven, honestly? Like, how put us between 7-Eleven and wait an hour?
Yeah. It's boiled peanuts. I will say that because my wife really likes them. And
they're great.
And they're great, but I haven't really had some. And I'm like, well, spit it out and be like, well, this is garbage.
Yeah,
it's all like, it's about the same as I always have. Spicy, non-spicy, I don't know.
It's salt. It's a brine. Like, how hard can it be? You're taking
the peanut is not going to change inside.
Don't burn them while you're boiling them.
It's not. We're not.
The plant is going to make a peanut. It's all the same.
Yeah. So they're good. They were good. My complaint was that his Cajun peanuts aren't spicy enough. And his OG peanuts were just kind of like salty nuts. And I get it. You want to try to hit the target. Say, I don't make just OG salty nuts. I only make spicy nuts.
Okay.
Sorry. This is the way the dentists do it. If you don't like spicy, then you don't eat our nuts.
I'm going to investigate this lemon pepper, but otherwise,
I'm into that too.
Yeah.
Like I do want to make some, other, different flavors too. But so Maisie and I kept talking about it, and Maisie's like, I think your peanuts, Daddy, are better than Norton's nuts. I think they're better. I think they're spicier. And I was like, well, would you want to make some with me? And then,
by the way, how good does that feel? Because like I get that every once in a while. Like, this is a really good cheeseburger. I think this is better than like, man, that's good.
It's a good feeling. Yeah. Which is why I instantly was like, whoa, you want to go into business together? We making peanuts? What are we doing?
That's awesome.
I instantly went up to Home Depot, and they had one left. I bought myself a peanut cooker.
What?
I bought a Loco cooker. I almost bought the one that's a cart.
They have that at Home Depot?
I was going to say, I thought this was like a crazy online purchase or something.
I've seen the grills and the mowers up front. I've seen peanut cooker.
You got to dig in the back. Like, it's in the back. Oh, it's dusty as hell. It was so dusty. But they had
it work there. I've never seen a
do they have like a hot dog roller, too, and a popcorn machine back there? Like, what all do they have?
Me and the Grizz did try to steal a hot tub one time. They did have a hot tub, like an inflatable hot tub at one point.
That's hilarious.
And we were going to try to push it out the back door.
They have a whole series. I hadn't been in there forever either because I have a Traeger and I don't really need. And then I gave my Blackstone away to that BDM. And then so I went in there and then we looked it up online. And the one I wanted was made by this company called Loco. And they're out of Brunswick. Or no, they're out of Columbus, Georgia. They're like a Georgia company.
Okay.
And they're I think what they started with and what they specialize in is just like an aluminum pot that you can boil shrimp or peanuts in. That's all they sell.
Or a turkey.
Or like a turkey fryer.
Yeah. You basically it's like that kind of thing. Like you put you lower the turkey in the boiling oil.
And you got a little gas ring as your burner at the bottom.
Well, this one's nice though. It has like it may help me put it together. It took a minute. But it's nice. It's got like push button electric start. It's got the 2 double blast burners that it's got a flattener that'll make your I'm using terms that I don't know here. I'm making up terms. Flattener is
I'm
not
sure the flattener's an industry standard.
But it's got like kind of a flattener on the bottom that'll make the flame like the same size as the pot.
Yeah.
So you have even cooking and all this kind of stuff. It's nice. Like, I mean, for like about $200.
So what are you going to do with 25 pounds of boiled peanuts?
I'm going to. Well, first I got to upscale.
Is that the minimum order?
No,
that this
I
thing
could have
makes?
gotten a quarter. Well, it makes 20. It makes 29 pounds of peanuts.
Okay.
So I figured if I start with a bushel, one bushel, and we'll go from there, Or maybe I can even do a half bushel with one flavor.
Try different flavors.
Sure. But I need to upscale and this is the problem I'm having, is I've been using like ChatGPT to try to upscale my recipe, because I do have a recipe. Like I have a recipe that I've been working on for a long time. You've eaten this recipe.
Yeah.
And there are secret ingredients I use in it that are different than what Norton's Nuts would use.
Interesting.
He has a very traditional style peanut. Mine is very traditional style as well. But I have a couple tricks up my sleeve that me and Maisie use that we really like to give it a little kick in the fillings.
Because the traditional recipe, if I'm familiar, is water, peanuts, salt.
Yeah. But then there's some things that have crept in there, and I want to ask your opinion on these, because I have hard opinions on these type of things. He and a lot of other peanut men like to cut up some carrot, cut up some celery, and cut up some potato and put it in their peanuts.
No kidding.
And when you stuff my quart of
that's
peanuts,
filler.
Thank you, Tom.
Oh, yeah.
I know all about filler.
We've been doing it for 10 years.
The baby powder and the cocaine. Everybody knows that.
Yeah, when you put carrots in there and you let them soak up that brine, I feel like you're cheating the peanut public.
I would immediately open the container and pull out the celery and be like, I didn't order any celery. Give me big. 5 more peanuts.
It's real big. Me and Maisie don't do that. The most we'll put is jalapenos, but that's to prove to you that they're spicy. That's why we leave the jalapenos.
It takes up no space. A quarter of a potato. That's like 18 peanuts.
That's how you make the money, Ross.
I knew you'd have a strong opinion on this, because he's right.
This guy's going to go out of business.
He's right. And a quarter of potatoes is a hefty boy.
Oh, why don't you fill that cup up with ice and then put my peanuts in there?
Next, this guy.
I'm 3D printing plastic peanuts to put in there.
You should check this guy's containers.
It's cheaper than peanuts.
No, that's probably more expensive than peanuts.
His containers are like those wine bottles that go all the way, the loopy-doop that goes all the way up to the top. So
then you put a bubble in the bottom. It's all about the bubble in the bottom. Takes up the space.
Oh, my God.
But yeah, a lot of people will fill like
thick styrofoam cups.
And Norton's Nuts, he puts carrots in there. And I'm not anti that. It's just not something I do, because like if you're buying my peanuts, I don't have a name for my nuts yet. I'm working on it.
Oh, I'll put packing peanuts in there.
It gotta be. You're like, technically it's peanuts. We run things like Carnival Cruise Line. We're under no obligation to give you meals or a clean room.
When you walked on the property, it says it, fine print.
I can shoot you dead here if I want to.
Anything peanut related, you go there.
Look at sign. The word peanut is in quotes.
What if you started it's like crab with a K?
Yeah.
Artificial peanuts. Anyway, so question, sir.
Well, I do like the idea of making a bunch of boiled peanuts, but I want to make the money. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
Because your family's going to get tired of it.
Andrea's already tired of it.
Get this thing out of my house.
She already hates it. And she came downstairs, and me and Maisie are sitting downstairs in the hot garage putting this thing together. There's country music blasting. I'm having a beer.
But if I know Maisie, she'd be up at 4 a.m. boiling me some peanuts right now. Then she
got up at 6 a.m. this morning to work out, dude.
We've got a business here. It's on, this is a busy road. Every time I go to cross the road, I have to wait for a car. Like, this is a good location to put Tom and Dan's. We already have the boiled peanuts logo and everything.
Yeah,
we went over Jesse Wolf.
The peanut holding the AR-15. We have a logo of a peanut holding an AR-15.
It's American themed, loosely.
Yeah. But we're going to call them Amerinuts or something? We had a name.
We do that, but then you also say made with recycled material to get the other side too. Get both sides. I like the money. Both money. Anyway, and then we sell them right out of the studio.
I love it.
And
I got it. Active Goobers.
Ooh, that's good. Active Goobers?
And then,
man,
I'll have to kick down this handicap sign, because that's a good parking space to come in.
Well, that could be for.
I could just
just put a sign over it that says peanut orders only. Nobody handicapped
5-minute peanut parking.
Hold on, 5-minute peanut parking is so good. That's such good alliteration.
And then they just pull up here,
and if they're handicapped, they can still use it.
But
we can still use it.
You know what? Free peanuts if you're handicapped.
You know what? I never said that.
But we have to.
I never said that. I'll have to cut that out then.
It's got to be self-serve so we can do the show and make the money.
No, you can't have people scooping them, because there's a way to do it. You got to scoop the nuts in first, and then you got to put the brine on top. I've seen.
Make sure you get enough carrots in there.
It's got to be automated.
Automation? That's going to cost so much money.
No. It's like you just get there's a big pot of boiling peanuts, and then people just come scoop them themselves, and then leave the money.
Put a pot of legumes out there. A boiling pot.
Well, we got to do two things at once.
It's been proven time and time again. You cannot do boiled peanuts on the honor system. Peanut people are not to be trusted.
Baldwin. It's not Georgia.
How did that work out for Brock's Candy Aisle? The Brock's Candy Aisle, where it had the little metal slot where you could put a quarter in and steal a Red Hot.
Yeah, but now we
out of business.
Video surveillance. We have video cameras. They're all.
What about bikini girls?
Cheaper to hire somebody.
What about
too expensive?
Roadside bikini.
Too
girls.
expensive. They want too much money because they realize their worth now.
No,
back in the 90s,
their worth.
They all know their worth now.
No, I don't.
Yeah, because as soon as they put
drug
a picture,
addicted, not the drug addicted ones.
As soon as they put a picture of themselves in a bikini, all of a sudden they're like, "Oh, there's worth."
No, the ones that are a little methy, we can take advantage of them. I feel like.
Yeah, but they'll steal our stuff.
He will. Where's my goddamn double boiler?
And then for sure I'll be banging them.
It's not that
you'll do what for $100?
It's not the stealing that bothers me. They can steal my stuff. It's just when I go to get it back and I end up laying with them.
If any meth bikini girl starts working here, it's going to be my demise.
We can't resist them.
Well, as soon as
they're like me and boiled peanuts. I can't resist them.
Yeah, and then I'm like, do you have meth? I ran out. Damn, doctor, don't give it to me anymore. Anyway, all right. When's your first batch being made?
So I get my nuts. I think I get them on Thursday. So,
what does it take? Like 24 hours? How long does it boil?
No, it shouldn't. I should be able to get up early and do them, and maybe have them done on Saturday. I don't know. Maybe Saturday, Sunday.
We'll get them done on Friday, and then we'll start selling them out of the
I might have to do them. I'd have to do Thursday night.
We'll get a rush job.
I'll get Maisie up there.
Yeah. She's our best employee we have.
I could almost get her up to do it, maybe. I guess I could pre-salt the water and everything and just get her to dump everything in.
You should make it an event. Do it at Johnny's in like the parking lot or something. Let her boil a bunch of peanuts, sell them to scumbags.
You're not going to believe this. Maisie mentioned Johnny's about selling peanuts.
Perfect spot.
Because we were like, where could we set up? I was
That's
like, I bet Johnny's would let us do
Absolutely.
it.
God. Even just not even for scumbags. Just like a dude on a Tuesday when it's half price menu day or whatever, and everybody's coming out like, man, I just got a pimento burger for $7 and then buy some peanuts.
Another thing I need to tell you guys that I'm doing versus Norton's nuts, and I don't like talking about another man's nuts. His nuts are the best that I've ever had. But he uses Valencia peanuts, and he uses raw peanuts.
Them are the red ones?
With
the red skins?
Yeah, with the red skins. But That's wrong. But he uses raw. I'm using green Georgia Runners, which is like a little bit of a sweeter, but mine are green. So I feel like mine are going to taste better no matter what, just because I'm not using a raw peanut. A raw peanut has to be soaked a lot longer to get a nice, mushy consistency.
Yeah, and I feel like the customer, they don't care. They're like, is this green or raw?
Yeah, I do. I care.
The average.
When I found out that he was soaking Valencia raw peanuts, I was like, whoa, what are you doing here? Was it amateur hour? Was it amateur hour?
That's like take the Tour de France trophies away.
Man. What are we doing here? Are we doing boiled peanuts or are we doing boiled peanuts?
Right.
Come on, there's a way to do it. There's a way not to do it.
But you're in the industry. You know the ins and outs. I'm just a customer. I'm drunk. I show up. I'm just like to get the boiled peanuts or whatever they give me.
Wow, he admitted you're in the industry now.
I like that.
Well, you know about it.
Oh, also, people ran for these peanuts. I want people to run for my peanuts. We had a little black lady out of a Maxima that was parked further behind us than everybody. And the reason Maisie and Andrea got out to run is because this little black lady sprinted past them, and she was first in line. And Maisie was like, I'm not losing, like, I'm not getting some. She's like, let's go. And then everybody was like, yeah! And it was wild. I mean, way too wild to be on the side of a road we were in a logistics company's parking lot because it was like a Friday and they were like not working that day, and we were just sitting there.
How'd you even find out about them?
Facebook.
You just searched up boiled peanuts in Georgia, and that was the first one that came up?
We had a BDM reach out to me and say, like, hey, man, I know you like boiled peanuts, and this is the power of the show. And he's like, I know you like them, and this guy's the guy. Like, this man, he's got, he's got 50,000 people following him. He sells that all the time. If you like boiled peanuts, you got to try Norton's nuts. Seek him out. They're worth it. So I did, and it was right. It's totally worth it. The thing that I didn't understand, though, is just, we only spent $14.
Yeah, like, again, the margins are so small that, like, okay.
He had been working for days.
Yeah,
Right,
like,
you have
he'd
a
make
line in
$200.
a parking lot. Jack up the prices.
Yeah. Now he's creating a high demand, which is good. Low supply, high demand. He's got people running for them. Like, that's all good. It's just now you got to turn it into an empire and you start cranking them out. That's when the quality goes down.
It is. No, it is. It is.
Have you ever run through a parking lot, Tom?
Never.
My family knows that if we are in a situation, like say we're going to Peach Valley Cafe for breakfast or something,
yeah,
and me and another car park at approximately the same time, they know they're on their own.
You're a runner.
I'm gonna.
You're a Georgia runner. Oh my God.
They know that I will not let those people get on the line before me. There's no way.
See, I feel embarrassed that they'll see me running to try to get there before them.
And then you do that waddle walk, the fast waddle walk.
I'll even do the move where if I'm walking with and there's another customer walking the opposite way, and I see I can gauge the time we're going to both end up at the door at the same time, I will walk quicker to grab the door to open it to let them in because I'd be embarrassed sprinting to the door and getting in.
I usually back her down and let them open the door, and then I hold it and let them go in. But I back her down.
I will pass.
You go early to get the door for them. I back it down. They open it, and then I hold it. But we do the same thing. We do it at Publix, and we fight over it. You ever seen us both, and we don't know what to do, and we're both backing down?
I will pass you in the parking lot, get to the door first, open it, walk through it, and then reverse grip, close it behind me so that I'm already on the waiting list by the time you're opening the door.
And then you're going to see the people, and you're sitting in the waiting room with them.
They don't have any access to my food. I don't care.
I will call as I'm walking beside you on my cell phone and tell the hostess you're a pedophile. So when you get there, they'll lock the door and call the authorities.
This is Daniel Dennis from the FBI. The next person who's coming through the door
is a pedophile. Anytime anybody does like a prank phone call where they pretend to be like an agent or a cop or anything like that, it always, 100%, always makes me think of those poor people at that McDonald's. Those poor, ignorant dum-dums. They're all just Google it. I'm not going to.
Really, it was the girl, the poor girl, like because she had to go.
All dumb. The whole McDonald's was just the dumbest McDonald's. It should be called the dumbest McDonald's.
The one manager, I think, is like mainly to blame. But everybody else who listened to him also.
Oh, it's such a terrible story. Which reminds me, we got a phone call for the police, or else I'm going to need you to show me your butt.
Part your cheeks. He's on the phone right now.
He's telling me what to do. He's telling me.
If it's going to help solve a crime, okay.
It's Norton from Norton's Nuts. He's on the phone with me right now.
I thought there might be some evidence up there.
All right, we'll take a break. When we come back, I want to talk about the WNBA and about the...
Aren't you tired of saying that sentence?
Dildo incident that's been happening
before.
There's been
another dildo incident to the WNBA today.
We're going to talk to my brother-in-law Jetson because he finished...
he plays in the WNBA.
His 200-mile race, which the whole time, like, he started on last Monday morning and finished on Friday evening, and that whole week, I was just like, I think about it randomly on a Wednesday night. I'm like, oh my God, he's still out there, like 5 days straight of just.
I did forget one day, and I was like, oh my God,
sleeping on the floor. Anyway, it's crazy. Anyway, we'll talk to him and we'll play a
Fun
video.
fact: the floor outside is called the ground.
I know. And we will be right back with more corporate time.
Why are you doing an Asian accent? You can't do that. You cannot do that. How many times have I told you to do that?
I just couldn't do it again because
I turn the microphones on. Let's go.
Because I
can't do that.
No, I knew Twitch was watching.
I
couldn't be fake. I can't be fake. I couldn't just do it again and pretend like I didn't screw it up the first time. So I had to screw it up the second time.
Our buddy Jay is here. We're going to talk a little bit of Florida's favorite sport, wrestling. Let's do it!
Hey! 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 It's the J-Pug-U! Hey! It's the J-Pug-U! Hey! He talks smack and drops wrestling facts! Okay! It's the J-Pug-U! Hey! It's the J-Pug-U! Hey!
Why does stuff like that?
may
I like
never
that. I like that. Oh, go.
There'll never be another band ever again soon. I mean, because
Who needs bands?
That's a pretty.
Yeah.
We'd have to pay someone an absurd amount of money if we were like, "Hey, can you make an intro?" Or...
But for us, though, it works because, no offense, but this just isn't that important.
not even a little bit.
Yeah,
In fact,
this is not important at all.
The intro song is way better than this segment's going to be.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
There's no way Jay could ever hold up to that much of an intro.
Also, because wrestling is also something that's really hard to talk about because wrestling fans and wrestling aficionados are very opinionated.
Oh, yeah.
And they all hate each other. And I would argue that wrestling viewers are the hardest to please. They're some of the hardest
Absolutely.
to please.
Yep.
You guys are worse than the Marvel nerds.
Oh, yeah,
You're
definitely.
way worse than the Marvel nerds. And I'm mean to the Marvel guys. You listen to the show.
Yep.
I think wrestling people are worse.
This is
Yes.
why I like this segment, because the wrestling fans hate it, and then the non-wrestling fans hate it.
Yeah.
So it's all
double hate.
Glad to know I can bring it down so well coming in here.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying, a double hate.
How's your confidence feeling?
Yeah,
You're double
great.
hate Jay.
That's why EJ's had a job for so long.
Yeah.
Even though it's a job that doesn't pay him anything.
It's like an anger listen that people have. So, all right, this past weekend, SummerSlam.
Yep, absolutely.
So
2 days.
I guess we should start with that. So, what is happening in Wrestling Land?
Well, first of all, let me preface this because I get some heat from the there's a BDM wrestling group that I do nothing but crap on AEW. I give you a no crapping on AEW guarantee today, boys. So don't worry about that.
All right, no crapping.
Well, they stopped listening, Jay, because they hate it. So,
I mean, I get it.
So you have to
Yep.
go back to crapping on AEW.
Damn it.
Yeah.
All right, just get them interested again.
So SummerSlam,
Yes.
I want to talk about just the clips I see on TikTok, because the only clip I continue to see is
Jelly Roll get
Yep.
and then somebody say
the Logan Paul, right?
Yeah.
Is it Logan Paul basically doing a body slam off the top ropes?
Was that a body slam? No.
Oh, God, I don't know. What the
It's a
hell?
splash.
It's a splash.
What's
Body
wasn't
slam
gonna
is
say
when you
anything,
slam
Dan.
a body.
Oh, okay.
A body slam.
Okay, I don't know.
You didn't do any of
I'm
this.
not a
I figured
nerd.
you were a Miami kid. Like in the sticks of Florida when we grew up.
No.
Wrestling was what you did. You went out in the woods and you kicked each other in the pecker.
Yeah. Miami's North Cuba. You know what I'm saying? It's not that-
I know you were fighting in a small militia at the time.
Yeah, I know bananas.
Oh my God. That is terrible.
That's what they like. They told me. They emailed me.
So SummerSlam.
In case you're joining,
I'm just
joining
joking.
us, Tom started the show by bananas.
Started off swimmingly. I loved it. It was
All right, so
fantastic.
SummerSlam. We're SummerSlamming.
Yes, 2 nights for some reason. I don't know. I mean, granted, they want to put 60,000 people in a stadium 2 nights in a row. 'cause
They've
it's a
been
money
doing
grab.
this, right? They've been doing this where they take the pay-per-view that used to be one night,
Yeah.
and then the way I knew it was starting as like a money grab is when they started making it the weekend, where it's like, hey, come on Thursday night and you can be part of the medal ceremony for Hulk Hogan and and some other wrestler.
WrestleMania started.
and then you'll do the Hall of Fame, and then we do the dinner with Mean Gene Oakland's Ghost, and then then the next night it's the main event. And then the night after that, it's the recap. And it's like, come on.
WrestleMania started that, I don't know, 5-6 years ago, doing 2 nights. And now they're going to do it with SummerSlam. And now they're talking about doing it with Royal Rumble and Survivor Series. So it'll be 2 nights
I think it's
of every pay-per-view. It's annoying.
I think it's a bad idea because I think it takes away. I like a lot of wrestling, and I think they can squeeze all of it into one night and make it more special. I don't know.
Make it a one 5-hour show. You don't need Karrion Kross for Sami Zayn at a pay-per-view in front of 60,000 people.
It used to be special matches, and this kind of goes along with greed, and it goes along with comedy specials.
Yeah.
Comedy specials used to be special. They were called specials.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Everybody knows that when you went to watch the Charlie Brown Gang, the Great Pumpkin, you'd see that rainbow word. It would say special, and it would turn to the side. It would go special. And you knew as a child when you saw the word in rainbow font that said special, you knew that what you were watching, it only came on once a year. So you would take over the bedroom TV in your mom's bedroom, and you'd watch the damn Great Pumpkin because it was on. It was special. Comedy specials were special. The SummerSlam, the first, Royal Rumble, special. They were all special. It was a once in a lifetime. Vince McMahon built it as like, this is history being made. and we're out of that now. This is not
100%.
This is no history.
I just watched Sarah Silverman told me a story about how her dad died of cancer or whatever. I was like, keep that to yourself. That's your family business. This is a special.
Why are you saying that?
It's all.
He shook the baby to death. He's a monster. Your father is a monster.
No. Yeah, he didn't mention that. But
she said that in an article later, and I'm like, wow.
But it seems like they're just like, hey, I got a funny story.
It was a grandfather, I believe.
I'll sell this to Netflix for $2 million and just do a show at sell out whatever.
You're a wrestling fan. What do you think about the oversaturation of product like WWE?
I mean, I get it. TKO bought it, which also owns UFC, of course. It's too much. In my opinion. So if you got SmackDown, it's 3 hours long. You got Monday Night Raw, that's between 2 and 3 because it's on Netflix, and it's Netflix, and who cares how long it is. But it's leaning more towards the 2.5, 3 hours. So there's 6 right there. NXT's 2 hours on Tuesday night. And then you get the pay-per-views. So each night of SummerSlam was 3 to 3.5 hours. So there's 7 more right there. I mean, you've got to put aside an entire weekend to watch a pay-per-view now. It's a lot.
How are they capturing the attention of the youth? Because their attention span is next to nothing now. Because it's all being consumed in small.
Is it an older demo, or is it gathering younger people?
I think the demo is starting to get a touch older. It's not it's probably still the 18 to 49. That's the male demographic that all the companies go after. But now the 18 to 49 is starting to have kids that are coming into the business, starting to watch it themselves. The older folk, I say older. I mean, we're both 49, so we're right at the tail end of that demographic.
You didn't never say my age again.
I apologize.
If you ever say my age again, you get the hell out of my studio. I don't let people wing around my personal information.
And then next year, we really won't talk about it.
Yeah.
I'm not looking forward to that.
That's what I'm going for. Look how crazy I'm going to look at 50.
I don't think much is going to change in a year.
Well, no. I'm doing a full year of hair and beard, and I only have.
You're doing the Larry.
July was 6 months.
But you're doing the Larry David. You get old young.
Yes.
and then
you stay old forever.
And in 20 years, like, hey, Daniel looked like he did 20 years ago.
Yeah. And then right before I die, I cut it all off.
You're like, oh, God.
You're like, oh, wow. Put it back on.
I should have shaved my head like 10 years ago.
So, Jay, it's hard for me to believe, like, if my sons were into wrestling, I'd be into wrestling. And I'd love to take them to an event of wrestling because they'd have fun. Like, anything they're into, I like spending time with them.
I wished, and I prayed that you would get that with your sons, but they are not hillbilly enough.
No.
I think it has to be generational. No, it's like baseball.
There's too much Swede in there, and you don't see a lot of Swedes loving the wrestling.
But you got to start them young, though. 3 years old, plop them in front of some old stuff. Plop them in front of a TLC match, and go, oh, crap.
Yeah. Guess what? They're into the NFL because that's what their old man watches. You see what I'm saying? You're into it's indoctrination.
Well, they'll be into porno.
Yeah.
Guaranteed porno watchers.
My point is, Jay, how are parents like me taking their kids like at 10 and 9 years old to a 3-hour wrestling match? Because 3 hours they're going to be like bored off their ass at 3 hours.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm wrong because I haven't taken them to a wrestling match. You think all the kids are excited the whole time?
I'll give you all I've seen recently was Metallica, and the kids are bored, and that's Metallica, and there's pyro going off and things flying over, and it was too much. It was like these kids had been out there for 5 hours.
Yeah. It's the time span.
And if you bring them to, let's say, I believe SmackDown's going to be in Orlando late September, if I'm not mistaken. It's a 3-hour show, but there's so much downtime where there's nothing happening.
In between the matches.
In between the actual matches. In a 3-hour show, you might get 20 minutes, 25 minutes of actual wrestling. So with your boys that don't really watch wrestling, will sit there and just kind of be looking around going, well, when's it going to start up again? We're going to do a 15-minute promo. They're just yapping in the ring. And it's just so much downtime in it to get a kid who, I mean, I'm not saying they don't have a big attention span. Most kids don't.
Yeah.
But they're going to get bored as hell sitting there.
Yeah, that's what it seems like. Because if there was wrestling matches the whole time, they'd be excited. But
a house show would be good. A live event where it's not televised. So that's just match. Those are the best.
Yeah, keeping it fast. Yep. That's how I saw it like that at the Eddie Graham.
I am so jealous of that.
Now, to combat that.
Only one time. I got one with my dad.
God, I missed out on that growing up in New Hampshire.
Now,
pretty awesome.
I'm sure the the people in the wrestling industry, they're no dummies. Like, they've made a lot of money. They're trying to combat that, and I see them bringing Logan Paul and Jelly Roll and like for a younger audience.
That's what Ghost of Manu Bull said. He said the involvement of influencers. Some guy named Kai Cenat did a few spots this year. He has I have no idea who he is, but he got a very high pitched reaction from younger listeners and
100%.
viewers.
Yeah,
there you go.
I Show Speed, same thing.
The only problem is the majority of people just watch Logan Paul do a splash onto Jelly Roll, which, by the way, I give Jelly Roll credit. For laying on the table and taking a splash from. I mean, Logan Paul's 250.
He's a big dude.
240.
There's no way to work that. That is, I've been put through a table before too. You just lay there and the person lands on you. There's no way to work it. Yeah. If you saw him laying there, he's got his arms crossed like this and he's all stiffened up. It's like he knows this is about to suck real bad.
And he lifts his legs a little too early. I was telling TC, because if you do lift up like that, it will there is a correct way to land, so you're not.
You can sit up a little bit too. And,
but he did. But he looked awesome. Like I like giving.
I gave him credit for taking it. I'm like, that's pretty.
I think Logan Paul is a great wrestler.
Oh, he's a hell of a work. Okay, he can do the moves.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
He's learning the psychology.
Okay.
When they brought him in the first time, they taught him how to do X, Y, and Z. He did that well. Now he can start putting a match together. Now he can start going with the psychology and actually being a true heel. He's turned into an unbelievable worker in this short amount of time.
So I kind of relate this to the X Games, and follow me with this.
Yeah.
Is like the X Games were obviously huge in the 90s, early 2000s and stuff. But then when the internet and social media, we get exposed to so many awesome tricks, one after one, and compilation videos and stuff, that when you go to the X Games, you want to see the best tricks, and there's a ton of downtime, a lot of walking to the next place, then a lot of heats, and then waiting for the next heat, and then people, and you're like, wait a minute, I wanted the compilation video of the best tricks in the world, and now I'm not getting that. So I feel like in the wrestling world, you see Logan Paul do a splash, and then people are like, oh, I want to see that. And then 3 hours of waiting to see that one splash is like, and the younger audience, I guess, is like, well, I don't want this. I want 3 hours of splash.
Yep, there was a
3 hours of splash. Sounds glorious, man.
Right?
There was a 6-team tables, ladders, and chairs match. There was 12 guys out there, all just falling through tables and doing all these crazy spots. And it was a 20-minute just car wreck. And it was very entertaining. Before it was Edge, Christian, Dudley Boys, and the Hardy Boys. There was only 3 teams, so you could do so much. Well, now there's 6 teams out there. So there's 2 teams doing something to each other while the other 4 just laying on the ground. Then they get up, they do their thing, and then the next 2 sets of teams go and do something else.
It's
and
like a lot of like guys will be like incapacitated and wandering for a while, and then you'll see them like come back into the I don't like that.
Like, where's this guy been for the last 8 minutes? There he is. He was selling on the outside the whole time.
Okay,
I got some info on the demographics of WWE that's actually quite interesting. Did you know that their highest growth reported last year is in that 18 to 49 demo, but ladies make up 36 to 40% of their viewing audience on Monday nights.
Huh.
Ladies are 40% of WWE's viewing, and the number one demo, do you guys want to guess? Tom is really good at these. Where do you think the number one age group is?
Men 25 to...
It's more specific, 50 plus. It is older.
Really?
Yeah, 50 plus is they're bigger at 30%.
Yeah, because they're...
So most guys are a little older than me, which would check out. I think that checks out.
The nostalgia of when wrestling was at its height.
Because when you think about it, 97, 98, Attitude Era, Stone Cold, DX, The Rock, Mankind, all these guys, 97, we were 21 years old at the time.
Yeah.
Now... we're damn near 50, and we're still watching it. That's the thing. And there was a big lull in the middle where the business was garbage.
The median is your age, 43.
That makes sense.
The median age is 43.
Makes complete sense. So 13, 14-year-old.
Female viewers are 36 to 40. Black viewers, 25%, and 12% Hispanic viewers.
So I'm trying to figure it out because if this is
older
up to
than
me,
I thought.
I'm looking at this problem, and if I was the boss, I'm like, okay, well, it's an easy fix. All right, we have the 60,000 seat stadium or whatever. Attention spans are smaller, right? Let's do this like a play, and let's shorten it down to what a movie time is, hour and 45, and then just pack
so
it
you're
out.
Give them 90 minutes.
Yeah, just pack it in there and just rehearse it more so that all the action is packed into tight. But what I may not be realizing is keeping people in a stadium for 3 hours, it yields X amount of money because of food and drink sales.
Yeah.
And those
merch,
breaks and merch and all this stuff. So it's like, we can't do that because we're going to be, basically eliminating millions in revenue.
Yeah.
Is that the reason?
I mean, I would guess because you go WrestleMania last year was in Vegas this year again. Each day, if you're a fan that wants to go to each one of those events, you're there for 7 hours. From the time you walk in the building to the time that last bell rings, you're there for 7+ hours. Spending money. And just money's pouring in. Then they've got the fan fests. Then they've got all the merchandise all set up. It's hundreds of millions of dollars in revenue, and it's just spread out over 2 days. And it's actually, if WrestleMania, it's spread out almost 5 days.
But this is how companies will render themselves obsolete, because they can't give up the money and they don't change. And guess what? And over a span of time, people are like, not interested. Like, I can't go to these 3-hour events. The kids aren't interested, and the 50-year-olds die off.
Yeah.
And then who do you got? So
and a lot of times they've been doing this thing, which is
I pointed at you, Jay, by the way.
How you going to put it?
Yeah, but Jay's lived harder. I played golf with him. He.
No, you kept right up. I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, but I'm a younger man.
Damn it.
Jay will party.
I think about this, and I think that what's interesting about it is wrestling, to me, like where we're at now, it feels like these deals that they've made with the what matters more? Let me shorten my question. Is it it's the rights for the viewership on the big network deals, right? That's where the real money is, right?
Yes, yeah. The real money is just like in the NFL. All the money is in television.
So of course, I'm answering my own question. So of course the
broadcast rights.
Of course it's worse the product, because they're not
but not in pay-per-view. The money's in the television for ads, and that's the thing. And if no one's watching, then the ads aren't selling. The reason why the money's in the NFL is because there's so many viewers
and people are watching,
and then in pay-per-view,
it's
direct to consumer. You're paying for that. There's no commercials in pay-per-view.
Oh yeah, it's because they're all on Peacock now. So they're all on the Peacock streaming service. So it's ad crazy if you don't pay the extra amount to go ad free. So it was between every match there was 3-4 minutes of ads.
Okay,
let me ask you a question, and then we'll put the same thing out to another big wrestling fan, Ghost, who's in our chat room. Mm-hmm. Are you guys satisfied right now as wrestling viewers with the products that you're getting, or is it too much? Because I know he's more AEW, but I think he likes wrestling in general. And I know you're more of a WWE guy, but you like wrestling in general. Mm-hmm. Are you satisfied, or is it just like, is it enough is enough? Are the storylines good? Like, where are we at?
The product now, the actual presentation of the product now is better than it has been in the last 10 years, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Now, the best thing about it is you can pick and choose what you want to watch. Okay, so let's just say I want to skip Raw Monday night. I don't have time to watch it.
And I've been watching NXT. It's all I've been having time for, because it's one of the shorter shows.
Exactly.
It's a once-a-week deal, and I'll put it on Maisie, and I'll watch some of the ladies wrestling.
The women in NXT are absolutely fantastic.
They go, right?
They're some of the best in-ring work, female-wise, is in NXT.
And it means something to Maisie for some reason if I say, hey, they're right up the road doing that.
And
like when I tell her, I'm like, hey, they're in Orlando. You know, those girls are in really? They're in Orlando?
But Jay, you've already been indoctrinated into wrestling. You'll like it until you die.
Of course.
Right.
So,
how do you get a new guy?
So your opinion on it is skewed
or
by
I can like it more or less. I mean, there was a span in there from probably 2001 to about 2010. It was garbage.
Yeah,
absolute garbage. I mean, that's maybe not that exact time frame, but it was terrible. It was tough to watch. So I can choose as a consumer. Do I want to skip Monday Night Raw this time and not watch it and just get a recap and be caught up in 10 minutes? Like you said, TikTok clips, Instagram, stuff like that.
Ghost agrees it's a good time to be a wrestling fan, because you can get everything. I have some channels on YouTube TV that I don't even like. I get like New Japan Wrestling.
Oh yeah.
Where it's like they'll be playing like something I wandered into. I had no business watching. It was like it was some sort of bloody match, and it was all Japanese wrestlers. There's some channel that Maisie and I were watching, and it was just looked like a gore match.
It's all just death match stuff.
Me and Maisie watch death matches. We watch death matches.
They go hard over there.
And now maybe the mean age is 43, so maybe you have a bunch of wrestling fan dads that are watching wrestling, that are indoctrinating their kids, their young kids. But I don't think you can get, like, let's say a kid that hasn't been exposed to wrestling at all, and he's 15 years old, right? Which is a peak time for a boy in wrestling, right? I remember
you sound like
middle
Jerry
school.
Jones
yeah.
peak time for a boy.
Can you sell that 15-year-old wrestling right now without any indoctrination? Would he be interested? Because I think that would be a hard sell.
I think you're right. It could be.
Well, fighting, I think, just right off the rip.
It's got fighting. It's got good-looking people.
But like right off the rip, when I see young people now, like they don't seem as like into like when I was growing up, it was G.I. Joes and wrestling figures and guns.
Yeah.
And we were all in it. I'm like, guns! Wrestlers, Spider-Man, Superman, Spider-Man,
guns!
Kill! And then planes, trains, automobiles, dropping bombs. And then now when I see kids, I'll meet a kid, I'll be like, how old are you? 15. I'm like, hi, nice to meet you. Hi, I like cooking, you know. And I'm not saying that's bad. I'm just saying it's not...
Yeah.
It's a
world peace. Where's your gun?
I like playing piano. I like music.
You're right.
I like if there's different interests, it's not the same. Like I was all G.I.
My sons
Joes.
barely play guns. Like they have swords.
I was all guns. I was sword for life, man.
I got a back of guns out. They're more real, the better.
Oh my
I would
God.
pull them out. I'm like, I want to pull this out of a gun.
My dad and I would pull the orange part off my gun. My dad would be like, they put an orange thing on there. That's for pussy.
I'm gonna rob a 7-Eleven. My sons have never thought about robbing a 7-Eleven with a fake gun.
But it does seem like if I meet a young boy now, like I met a lot of young boys at the Mo skating event, right? Shook their hands, saw their dads, saw their moms, talked to them. Not many of them, if I'm profiling them, which I think we all do, I don't look at them. I'm like, I don't see a lot of wrestling guys there. Like, it's all 50-year-old men that are in wrestling.
There's too many options of stuff to watch. I mean, literally, when we were 15 years old, you had cartoons.
Endless anime
on
now.
Saturday
Endless
morning.
anime now.
Oh, yeah. My son, I don't even know how my sons got into anime, but they love it more than anything. And that's like,
well, they've got over 100 years of videos to go back through and watch now. I mean, there's just so much historical anime to watch.
And that wasn't indoctrination. That's just something that sparked they got into.
That's kind of cool that they just wandered into anime. I think that's cool.
And I was watching it, and I'm like, "What is this?
It's a tentacle, goddamn tentacle man!"
I understand it, but it's like
a tentacle man jumps on a motorcycle man, a clown man.
I'm like, it's no Darkwing Duck.
Exactly.
But some of that means they got big. They're chopping their heads off.
Let's get some SpongeBob up in here. Sandy Squirrel.
So I think they have a huge battle in front of them trying to maintain this media form, and like, is it going to be around in 50 years? I know that's kind of ridiculous to say, but like a long enough time frame when the Jays of the world
here's what I want
are gone, and it's like, are there going to be enough people, or is they going to have to shrink down to way smaller?
Here's what's going to happen. Eventually, robotic technology and AI will get so good that we will have full-born AI wrestler humanoids that will fight to the death.
Okay, yes.
That we will get to watch. I mean when the ladies wrestle, and I mean when the lady robots wrestle, they'll rip each other's off. I had to say it because it had to be said. But they'll
Where do I buy tickets to this?
They'll do it. You know what gorillas do when they see genitalia? I'm talking, we're going to see some real common dance humanoid fights.
I'm there for that with my son. So I'm like, rip those.
I'm announcing that from a distance.
I almost chatted it with you to give myself more work today.
You're right. I think we figured it out. We solved wrestling. We solved it. That's how to keep it alive.
That's how you do code, boys.
That's how you do it, Jay. It just took you getting here to unlock our ideas.
That's it.
You're the key. We're the locks.
We're all 1/3 in this thing.
What's the next big wrestling event, Jay, after SummerSlam?
Oh, hell. They're all happen all the time. Survivor Series. War games where they put 2 rings and put a big old cage around both rings.
Kids don't want war games. I just went through that with you guys. War is scary. The war in Ukraine, terrifying. Gaza, terrifying.
When do they start working with Roblox and things like brands like that and like Fortnite?
They already are.
They already are.
Oh, yeah, there was Fortnite was on the ring, on the canvas.
Are you crazy?
Like,
Fortnite?
I
think Fortnite was like in line to work with WWE like day one. They're like, sign us up.
Listen,
is there any Fortnite characters? Like,
I play Fortnite. I'm a child. I don't care. Undertaker.
Did you see Tom's face when you said he was like,
You, yeah. Undertaker,
It's like
John
he just
Cena.
revealed that you're the strangler.
That's fine. Undertaker, John Cena, Becky Lynch, and Bianca Belair are already characters you can play. You can use them as playable characters.
Oh, in Fortnite.
In Fortnite,
No, but
yeah.
what I'm saying is there's no person that's kind of like taken some sort of inspiration from a Fortnite character and use that for their own human character.
No.
Like in
No,
Wrestling.
but
yet.
that happened back in the day when we had like who was the guy that was like a Mortal Kombat?
Glacier.
Yeah, Glacier he was supposed
Sub-Zero?
to be like Sub-Zero.
He spent $500,000 on his entrance, and he lasted about 3 months, and everyone stopped caring.
He still does it too.
Weird.
He does.
He's still like
Yep.
he'll still go to conventions in the full, and he's like he's a bigger Glacier now.
He's more like an iceberg now.
We'll be right back.
Jay, thanks for coming in for the
nice
segment.
job,
Thank you, boys.
buddy.
Thanks
Appreciate
for
you being here.
helping us solve wrestling.
Yep.
Yeah, we did
Cracked
it.
the code,
Tom and
baby.
Dad's to the death humanoid fights with nudity.
Rip those,
Yeah, rip them.
All right, we'll see you tomorrow. Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. We're live on Twitch and YouTube. We'd love for you to come hang out with us wherever you get your podcast. Search for Tom and Dan at Tom and Dan Live.
Mark your calendars the weekend before Thanksgiving weekend, November 22nd, November 23rd. That's a Bad Business Beer Fest and Sofa and Suds. I'm telling people early just so that they know that weekend is completely free, and it's a free giant beer fest with live music, and then the next day is the Sanford couch races.
Number one question is, are we still doing it? Yes, that's a resounding yes. It's, in fact, it's
and
like,
it's a lot of work.
Yeah, well, these are the only events that Tom really likes to do because the other ones are a giant pain in the ass. And this one's the biggest pain in the ass, but it's our biggest events, and we like doing these. So.
And it's already established,
Yeah.
so it's easier. Paul and the Sanford crew helps us put everything together, but it is.
That.
Oh, yeah.
I heard a little. What do you got? What do you got in there?
I talking too much, and then I was flimmy.
All right.
I did get off diet sodas. I saw some memes saying like diet sodas increase your Alzheimer's by 250%. I'm like, what?
Well, if that's the case, I already have Alzheimer's then because honestly,
and I'm like, what is this?
I drink 600 diet sodas a day.
And then there's some doctor on TikTok saying that, and I'm like, are you a real doctor?
Hey, they're not. Nobody that says anything about it. I had a guy this morning say
It's not that hard to become a doctor.
I had a guy say this morning that my full hip replacement, he's like, that's minor surgery all day long. I'm like, they broke my femur, you effing moron. It's like minor surgery. I couldn't walk.
That seems like a major surgery.
It is a major surgery. People don't know what they're saying out there, Tom. There's a bunch of stupid people out there. But today, our guest is not stupid. Our guest is not stupid.
Let's
We
do
do
some
have a
weird
guest.
job.
We do have a guest. It's Weird Job time. I like to write. Well, you've kind of forced me into a prison of writing songs every Wednesday. So, without further ado, a brand new song that reflects my attitude towards cruising on the open seas. I'm in my country phase right now. Sorry.
No, I'm fine.
You're big and fat and you're on a boat, slopping food and sucking drinks till you blow. The captain's dinner is at tonight. I've got a sunburn and my hey dudes are way too fucking tight. Cruising is for losers, losers just like me. I love my Bud Lights blazing hot. It's another day at sea. I got midnight pizza, diarrhea, and a pocket full of ecstasy. Cruising is for losers, and the loser here is me. Let's roll our balls off with these fat chicks, boys.
Let's roll our balls off with these fat chicks, boys. Come on.
Well, why don't you do that to our guest for a weird job today? Scott's on the line. How you doing, Scott?
Oh, hold on. There you go, Scott. Sorry, buddy.
Sorry, Scott.
Oh my God. I brought him to tears. He's still thinking about rolling with those fat chicks.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know, we gave you a little hint on what
Yeah.
this weird job is. So, Scott, let's talk about your weird job. What do you do?
So my main job is I travel around the world and I install back-end computer systems on cruise ships, like the databases, backup storage, things like that.
That's a very, very, very important job. I would imagine that you are. Am I correct in assuming that you're? I mean, that's a safety thing, right?
Yeah, a lot of it, absolutely.
So now, why don't the cruise companies just do this themselves? For whatever reason, in my mind, I thought, like, all right, whoever built the ship does all the ship software, and
I've never thought about that.
But then I'm like, they use all third-party companies for everything else, for booking and all that. So might as well probably use third-party companies.
You want to
for
hear something crazy? There is a karate dojo scheduling software company in Orlando, based out of Orlando, and they're one of the biggest in the world. Like they have a tower building where they're like, all we do is software for karate dojos.
That's weird.
I'm not kidding. So yeah,
it's very granular.
Are you kind of in that? Like, do you work for a specific company that engineers like a specific type of software?
No. So in my case, I actually work for the corporation. I work for Carnival Corporation. But
Dig it.
We have 9 cruise lines, so I move around depending on where they need me. And you're right. I mean, it's a little hard to explain, but when we build a new ship, one of us, usually me, goes out to the ship, and I'll set up the server room and all of the back-end systems for most of the ship. And then there are a couple independent systems, like the fire system isn't remotely controlled. It's an independent system, so people can't, really hack into it.
Interesting.
But then all of that has to be replaced every 6 years. The computer systems don't last forever. So I schedule it out.
Just ask the FAA, right? Isn't that kind of
exactly.
what? Yeah, they're dealing with that now, where we're having to kind of gut all of that and start from scratch. So you guys try to get in front of that, I'm guessing.
I do. I base it off of what the maintenance contracts are for the servers and what the reasonable useful life is for them. And everything's redundant. So I'll have a maintenance contract. So I'll say, hey, if I've got a ship that's going to be in Paris today, I need you guys to meet me there with new hardware because I've got something failing, But after 6 years, you reach a point where even if it's under maintenance contracts, there's an ROI thing where you have more failures than it's worth dealing with. So
what I'm imagining is, and maybe I'm romanticizing this a touch, but it seems like your job is like you fly around or sail around fixing giant computers, because the ship is just a giant computer, and that's your job.
Yeah,
sort of like that. That's cool.
Yeah, there's 2 server rooms on each ship. So yeah, I go out and replace hardware in those, and then I work from home, so I maintain them from here.
Whoa.
Updates and things like that. But I do a lot of flying around and actually do physical installs.
So let's talk about that. So you said every new boat they build, they put you on it during its maiden voyage?
Well, no. So I go out to it starting about 2 or 3 months. Like for instance, at Holland America, where I've done every system on every ship in Holland America. So I'll fly out to Venice, Italy, where they're building the ship about 2 months before it sails. I will have fully set up the system on shore. I do that in Hamburg, Germany.
Whoa.
I'll set up the system once I've got it working, and I get every department to test their software, because I don't, there's no way for me to keep track of 200 department software.
Sure.
So each department sets up their software, make sure it works with everything else, and then when it comes to about 2 months before the ship's finally got power and air conditioning and everything's almost ready, then we'll install it on the ship and make sure it lines up with the wiring and the power requirements and the network and all that good stuff. So I end up spending about 2 months in Italy for each ship that that's new.
Okay, and then
I usually take the maiden voyage as well, just to make sure nothing goes wrong.
That's awesome,
because I want to.
Yeah, so, I would too, man. You have a cool job. That's amazing.
So how many cruises have you been on?
I don't actually know. At one point I was keeping track, but after I got over around 300, I just kind of gave up.
300?
But yeah, I've been on significantly more than 300 cruises. I've been to all 7 continents. I've been to pretty much every major port you can think of in the world.
And those Holland boats are beautiful. I mean, like that.
Yeah. So I have done all of the Holland ships, all of the Seabourn ships, all of the P&O Australia ships.
Whoa.
About a third quarter to a third of the Carnival ships and a couple of the Princess ships.
Can you explain, like, maybe a little bit about the different? Is cruising the same in Europe, or is their approach to it different, or is it like, because we all kind of know it from like the ripping, partying, Canaveral style, like from here.
Well, but that depends on which cruise line you even go out of from here. Right. So the reason Carnival owns 9 cruise lines, and the reason other cruise lines own multiple cruise lines, is because you don't compete with yourself. You have cruise lines in different categories. Mm-hmm. So there's a pretty massive difference between taking a Carnival cruise out of Miami and taking a Seabourn cruise out of Miami, for instance. Right. So they're not only levels of luxury, but also different expectations. So a Han America cruise might be 70 days long. Well, whether you're trying to or not, it's going to be retired people. I mean, you don't have a lot of families with 2 kids that are going to take 71 days off work and can afford a $30,000 cruise, So, so there's just cruises in every different category. And then there's cruises that, like, we do tons of cruises in Europe, from Carnival all the way up to Seabourn. And we own Cunard, which was where the original, when you think of the original ocean liners came from. And Cunard even owned the Titanic at one point.
That's crazy, man.
So we have cruise lines that may originate, like we own Costa. Well, those are all Italian and only go out of Italy. Yes, those are completely different. They're still party ships, but they only speak Italian on them. And
gotcha.
They're, if anything, a lower level of luxury even than Carnival is.
Right.
So Scott.
Yeah, and so
how do you
but
get
then
in?
If you get lines that are out of Europe specifically, like Viking river cruises, those are going to be very different than a cruise out of here.
How do you get into something like this? Like, to back up a little bit, like, were you always into technology and computers? Were you always into like doing that sort of thing, and you just happened to land in the maritime aspects of it, or are you a boat guy?
Well, I'm a boat guy. I've had boats, but it's being on a cruise ship's obviously a lot different than having a sailboat. No, I did a lot of different things for a living over the years. I owned a print shop. I built log cabins around the United States. I was the head of a building crew. Wow. I worked on farms when I was really young. I mean, I did lots of different things, graphic design. And at some point, when I was doing graphic design, there was this kind of transition from physically cutting and pasting out pieces of film to doing it on the computer. And so at that point, I got into... I didn't want to because I don't love computers, but I got into working on computers. Well, about every 5 years, I used to take a break from real life and go work on a cruise ship. It's nice. You get a time period where every day somebody makes your meals and cooks your breakfast and does your dishes and cleans your room every day and makes your bed. I mean, you really don't do anything outside of work. You don't have to think. You're not responsible for anything. It's kind of relaxing. And the last time I did it for Han America, and I was going to leave, and they called me and said, "Look, could you come spend a few weeks in the office?" No one in the office has ever been on a cruise ship, that works in that section of IT. And they said they also don't understand there's very different challenges in IT on cruise ships than there are on shore. A lot of them based around the speed of satellite and things like that, but the difficulty of getting parts to them. And so they said, we really would like to have somebody in the office that already has your level of experience, but also is familiar with cruise ships. And so, that was 17 years ago.
Whoa.
And
so, Scott,
that's interesting.
When you go on these cruises, how much are you working and how much are you kind of there, like just have you
monitoring?
There, so in case something happens, you spring into action, but if nothing happens, then you just enjoy this cruise and you're chilling like the rest of the guests.
Yeah, like if you're good at what you do.
Well, I'm pretty good at what I do. And in 18 years, I've never made a mistake.
Nice.
But which means I'm due for one anytime. But if I'm going...
I hope I see you on the news. and you're,
there's people crapping in bags.
It's going down. It's like some sort of software problem. It's just punching holes in the ship. Exactly. And they're like, Scott.
It's the first ever destructive Wi-Fi we've ever seen. It's deteriorating the boat.
Yeah. He hasn't made a mistake in 18 years, he claimed, on local podcasts.
It'd be the Orb. It'd be us. It'd be our fault.
Tom and Dom.
Yeah, exactly.
Tom and Dom.
That's all right.
So generally, if I'm going out to a ship, it's because I'm replacing hardware or or if it's a new ship, installing new hardware. There's 2 different times to do that. Most cruise lines replace all their hardware in dry docks. So they pull the ship out of the water. They're replacing everything. That's when they repaint the ship. They do all the maintenance. They do upgrades. And so I don't like to do it that way. I've been to probably 30 dry docks, but they're miserable. And it's 10 times more work for me because they're constantly shutting off the power. They're kind of shutting off the air conditioning. They're shutting down network. And so, a job that should take me 20 hours takes me like 2 weeks.
Oh, man.
So what I'll usually do is I'll fly out to a ship that's on a cruise, and I will start replacing hardware one at a time and use the redundancy. I'll fail it over to the next piece of hardware, replace this one, fail it back, and then replace the next one. And so if it's one where I can plan it out and I have complete control over it, I probably have 15 to 20 hours worth of work. And I'll usually get on a ship for 2 weeks. And I'm not doing 20 hours straight, obviously. I'm just spreading it out over, and I work at night just in case something does go wrong. But
where do they put you up? Do they put you down there with all the little guys I see smoking on the back? When I'm sitting in my penthouse, I'm looking down. There's a bunch of guys in white jumpsuits smoking cigarettes,
and you feel kind of sad. You're like they're working to send money back to their families. That's a whole, It's like,
I think one of them pointed at my margarita, except for me to throw it to him.
Anytime you're working to send money back to your family, it's never good.
It's never good.
And then you feel sad. You're like, I'm living the life of a king. And this person's sending money back to their family? Is this some sort of slavery situation?
Yeah, where do they put you up?
No, I always get a guest cabin.
Do you pretend to be a guest? Do you wear a flowery shirt and stuff? Or are you blending in? Or
yeah. No, I just wear regular clothes.
Cool.
So I don't. I'm not working as an officer on the ship, so I don't have to wear a uniform.
Oh, that's cool.
Obviously, I did when I was doing the contracts on the ships.
Gotcha.
Do the company have rules like you're not allowed to drink or be sober the whole time? Like when's your off time, or you have to always be available?
So I've been on call 24/7 for the past 15 years, and then obviously if I'm on the ship replacing hardware, if anything goes wrong, they're going to call me in the middle of the night. I don't. I can't walk around stumbling drunk because if somebody finds out I work for the cruise line, and a lot of the guests I do talk to them about it. So I can't look bad for the cruise line, but in general, I have the same guest experience everybody else has. I can take shore excursions. Generally, I get them for free.
I'll tell you right now, I'm a better editor after 4 Mick Ultras. You want me to? I'll crush it. It's got to be it's got to be a micro dose of alcohol, though. It can't be a macro dose.
So let me explain the on-call job. And Scott, you could back me up on this. I've met some people and some friends of mine that have one time in their life had on-call jobs where, this goes doctors. They're especially
which are relatively easy to be. We learned earlier
OBGYNs and stuff you have to be on call for this amount of time, or I know people that have worked even retail jobs that are this hours are on call, or a lot of times in the government or some sort of emergency service or doc. Anyway, the on call, and then they start out with, "Hey, I'm on call these next 2 days, so I can't drink," or I'll be at an event with them. I'm like, "Oh, why aren't you drinking? I'm on call."
Yeah.
Right? And that deteriorates over time.
It does.
See what I'm saying? Because
eventually you just forward your calls to your cell phone. You're up at
not even that.
Friendly confines, pounding beer.
Over weeks of never getting called, you just start slowly getting into one glass of wine. I'll be fine. I'm still can drive.
That's called the Texas flood. Too soon, but that's called the Texas flood.
And then you have one.
You got text about this?
One glass of wine, and then nothing happens. Yeah. Then weeks and months go by, and then you're full on hammered drunk one night.
You're at a loose woman's house. You don't even know where your clothes are.
And then I say to you, "What happened to the on-call thing?" And you're like, "It doesn't matter."
Then disaster strikes.
Yeah. What happens, Scott?
Keep in mind, even the officers on the ship are allowed to drink. They're on call.
You know why? Because they're sailors, and sailors are tough.
But they're not allowed to be drunk, even when they're off work.
Well, then you just tell people you're not drunk. What are you? You're gonna
that's what I do when I'm driving, Scott.
My wife's like, "Are you drunk?" I'm like, "Are you crazy?"
I'm 43 years old. I can have 6 drinks and be fine. Now, legally, as a
but everybody's definition of fine is different.
Well, no, that's the thing. On the ships, they do regular random drug and alcohol testing. And if there's any event that happens, like even if they spill, I saw these guys, they spilled 3 drops of oil in the ocean, and they immediately did blood test on all of them.
I gotcha.
So you splash it around.
Every person has an emergency position. So even if you're off work, if the ship's going down, you may still have to drive a lifeboat or,
Oh, I forgot. You can't just every man for himself then. That's when you blend in with the flower and shirt and the Tom and Dan straw hat.
So, Scott,
exactly.
Let's talk Wi-Fi, pre and post cruising Wi-Fi, because Daniel and I have had the experience, and maybe not a lot of people have. We've cruised when there was no cell phones.
It's like Dave Chappelle putting your phone in a bag.
Yeah, we've cruised before smartphones, at least. I think there were cell phones, but there were flip phones. And then before you can get Wi-Fi on ships or any entertainment like that.
Yeah.
And then now we've cruised after Wi-Fi.
You just have to sit in your cabin and wait for the movies with boobs to pop up.
So there's a couple advantages of Wi-Fi, right? You don't have to send your kids to the cruise kid entertainment anymore. You just put them in the room and get them on Roblox.
But I'm not sure that's helping them. But I'm with you.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean,
it's more convenient for us.
The last Tom and Dan cruise I went, like, you go by the kids areas, it's a ghost town.
Yeah.
All the kids, including mine, are in the cabin just playing Roblox or whatever the hell.
They're all
watching
isolated
YouTube.
in their own little digital world. It's great.
Yeah, they're in their own digital world, which allows the adults to party and just put your kids in the room, and that's great.
It's never been easier to ignore your kids.
Second thing, porn now. You got Wi-Fi porn, which we're all looking at in our rooms, and instead of having to rent these weirdo videos on the TV, which they still have, by the way, it's awkward. And
they're softcore, too. I rented one.
So those 2 things are great. The bad thing is, it used to be, and there was a small time where we had smartphones but no Wi-Fi on cruise ships because it was few and far between.
So you'd have a time bomb in your pocket.
Where once you got out to sea...
you better turn that thing on. You better have that thing on airplane mode.
But it was also, it was free. It was the time where the world cut you off from having your cell phone, and you felt free. And it was like, oh, no one can call me. I have no access to the outside world. I get no emails. I am cut off.
Yeah.
And you were forced to be, which felt good, and which people pay for now. Like, they pay to have people put their cell phones in bags. You know what I'm saying? But there was a time where it was just like, hey, there's no Wi-Fi on this cruise ship, so there's no cellular service, so you are cut off from the world. And it felt good, and it was healthy, and it was cool being cut off. And now,
Ricky says, I think most cruise ships Wi-Fi blocks adult sites. Incorrect.
No,
sir.
no, it does not.
Incorrect. You do not. Yeah. Then you've never been cruising.
Yeah.
And look into my eyes. Look into my eyes.
Daniel
look into
knows.
my eyes.
I'll die on Daniel's word on this.
I'll die on it too.
Anyway, long story short, Scott, my long-winded question is, Wi-Fi and keeping that up and running now seems like the guest's number one concern, because I remember when my Wi-Fi went out in the last Tom and Dan cruise, I was like, what the hell? This stinks.
Well, it's expensive too. Yeah, you do pay a premium if you want the good Wi-Fi, and I always get the good one.
And it seems like that's made your job harder because that's a number one concern.
It is. I mean, luckily, that's more the network guys have to deal with it, but it's the first question every single person ever asks me. If I'm on a ship, I'm sitting on the back deck smoking a cigar. The guests find out that I work for the ship, and I'm in IT. The very first thing is always that. But the problem is,
are you saying on the average Joe of questions?
That's the greatest thing. Hold on, I get the camera on me.
Me and a bunch of cruise slobs think of the same thing. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
but you don't have the cojones. You do, but you don't. Like, you're not going to bother this guy when he's smoking a cigar. If he said, I'm in IT, you're not going to go, well, excuse me. Can you boost my Wi-Fi?
Yeah, that's everybody's question. So until Starlink, the problem is there were only a very small number of satellite relays IT stations, and they were all right over the equator. So you've got to bounce off of the satellite and down to a station somewhere on Earth. It browses the internet for you, sends the signal back to the satellite, back to you. Well, since they're right on the equator and they're geosynchronous, they're very far away, and the speed isn't so much a concern as what they call latency. So you might get an ultra fast thing coming to you, and so on streaming video, it's great. If you've got something that has to go back and forth, it takes so long. If you picture throwing a ball and bouncing it off of a wall, the farther the ball gets away, the longer it takes to get that ball back. So, and then of course there were so few of them, and they were all full. So the satellite companies could charge whatever they wanted. So when you think how expensive it is to get internet on the ship, they're selling you that you're just partially subsidizing their costs. They're selling it at a loss. I mean, the cost of getting internet on a ship is so astronomically high, and the speed is so low. The cost is actually there to keep fewer people on it.
Interesting. And I've always wondered how you guys balance the amount of devices and device IDs that are searching for the internet at one time.
Everybody on the cruise ship, right?
It's got to be like, and I think about this at festivals too, but my first one is cruise ships because everybody wants to talk to their grandma and text this, that, and the other thing.
Or just scroll reels.
So how do you...
on vacation, which is sad.
Which is sad.
You're sitting in your room scrolling reels. You're in a cruise ship.
I know. Go see a show.
In the Bahamas.
Go see a show, you know?
I like sitting in Aruba scrolling reels and just outside your window, you draw the curtains. You're like, I don't even want to look outside.
So I do always tell people that. My friends go on cruise. I'm like, don't use your phone. This is your opportunity to not use your phone. If you're going on a cruise and you're spending all your time on your phone, you've wasted the money on your cruise. I mean,
Well, I'm addicted to it. You can tell a heroin addict not to use heroin, but it can't stop, Scott.
Right. Yeah, I know. So about when I first started 17 years ago, the bandwidth was astronomically low. So essentially, you've got 2,000 people on a ship that are trying to share a connection that's about the speed of a modem from 30 years ago. And I mean, websites weren't as big and streaming video wasn't nearly as high bandwidth as it is now, but and very few people had devices, as you were talking about. So now, 17 years later, every person on the ship has usually multiple devices, a tablet and a phone, and the number of IDs doesn't matter. So it's really the bandwidth that they're using it. I don't care if you have 70 devices on the network. If you're only browsing video on one, then you're only taking up that much bandwidth. But we set the prices to limit the number of people on at any given time. And I've proved it to employees because the employees the same question. The crew members come up to me and it's like, why can't we get free internet? This isn't fair. I'm like, I'm 100% with you. It's not fair. So when we're in dry docks, I usually will do a test and show them. For 1 hour, all internet's free. And it takes about 45 seconds before the internet's completely unusable. It might take you an hour to sign in and get an email. And, we are sharing, even our fastest ships, their connection is slower than what I have here at my house. So here you've got a ship with, on a Call in America ship, say, 2,500 people and 1,000 crews. You have 3,500 people going through an internet connection that's a quarter of the speed that I've got here at my house. Obviously, it's going to be slow. So we try to limit the number of people on at any given time, and we do that a lot by pricing.
Well, make it faster, Scott. What the
hell's going on, Scott?
Get it out there. Tell Musk to get those satellites up there and give me internet fast anywhere in the world.
Well, and making it fast is really easy. All it does is cost a ton. So if you wanted to pay, say, $500 a day for internet, you could get extremely high-speed internet on the ship. But
I want fast and free.
Well, and we are headed
fast and free. So, that's our new show.
The whole advent of Starlink. I mean, like on my seaborne ships are small. People pay a lot to get on them, and all the people with the upper level rooms do have free, unlimited high-speed internet, and we're able to provide that a lot easier on a ship that has, 400 passengers than we are on a ship that has 6,000. But also, the latency is very low on Starlink satellites because they're very close to the Earth, and they're not geosynchronous. So at any given time, you're very close to a satellite. On the geosynchronous satellites, when you're up in northern Alaska and Antarctica, there is no internet. You're literally around the curve of the Earth and you can't even see the satellite. So Starlink is making literally a quantum leap in being able to provide internet. It doesn't cover everywhere. Some of my Australian ships can't do Starlink, but we have converted, I would say 95% of our ships. We have like 100 and I don't know what it is right now, probably 110 ships. We've converted almost all of them to Starlink, and it has dramatically dropped the cost and increased the speed.
Huh. So Scott, I'm curious. You've been on 300 plus cruises. You've lost count. You've been to every continent in the world.
That's badass.
You've been to every port in the world. What's your top three that you would that you've done? You're like, hey, this is cool because most of us have the experience of cruising. Obviously, we're going to the Bahamas if we live in Florida or Cancun or an island.
We know what it's like. We've done it.
And it's all kind of the standard. You go into port.
I will
there's
say,
a
if
lot
you've
of
never done it, I think it's cool.
Yeah, it's fine. It is what it is. But you go into the NASA port, and there's a bunch of people selling their wares and their
Do you want to know a fun
stuff
fact?
made in China that says NASA on it?
Do you know that I have a photo of me holding an iguana? I have 18 different photos of me holding an iguana.
yeah. A lot of that. And then there's the more
Pose with the Junkanoo Man.
higher up, obviously European cruises and canal cruises and stuff. But what's your opinion on that? Best cruise?
So by far, I think my best cruise, I did a seaborne cruise to Antarctica. I spent 3 weeks in Antarctica and went to research stations and walked around with penguins. And we spent 3 days, I think, just going around the icebergs to take pictures of them and stuff. And that cruise was really spectacular.
Was there a penguin standing on port, holding iguana?
What do you pose with?
Yeah. I want the trash.
Yeah. In Italy, I want to pose with a pizza.
Is there a giant beach chair that I can sit on?
Yeah, I want a
Carlos and Charlie.
I want a jumbo beach chair, and then I want a little Mexican man pouring tequila into my wife's mouth.
Yeah. That could probably be arranged, but it would be expensive.
But in Antarctica.
There's no ports. That's what I mean, in Antarctica.
Yeah.
There's no ports in Antarctica. So most cruise lines just kind of go close and give you binoculars. With Seabourn, we have a bunch of Zodiacs on the back of the ship and a crane. So they lowered all the Zodiacs in the water. You get on the Zodiacs, you go zipping around the icebergs, and then you beach it right on shore and go up and walk around with the penguins. We went to research stations.
That's cool.
But, yeah, there's no dock big enough to pull a cruise ship up to.
Yeah.
That's what makes it
awesome.
cool. Zodiac, you had me with Zodiac. That's all I needed to hear. That's awesome.
I had a penguin jump in the Zodiac with us.
What? That's what Tom was talking about. That's exactly what Tom was talking about, and he asked you that. And
he's got tequila. He's pouring it on my wife's tees.
Yeah. No, I have a video that he just jumps in the Zodiac, hangs out for a minute. I think he's probably trying to get away from a seal.
Sure.
And then hops back out. But they're very curious. They'll follow you around.
You're
not allowed to touch them.
Okay.
So
now
I've
you got you. Look, you
walking
got
backwards, trying to avoid touching them.
You got me on that one because that sounds like bucket list, once of a lifetime type.
It's epic.
Is it $1,200 free drinks, free Wi-Fi? That's what I want, Scott.
Actually, on a Seabourn cruise, they're all inclusive. So, unlimited liquor and when I go to have a cigar on the back deck on a Seabourn cruise, I stop at a bar and get a double Lafroig, and they take a rocks glass and fill it level with the top where I can't pick it up without spilling it. I have to sip it to pick it up off the table.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
What does that cost?
That's that top tier cruise.
What does that cost, Scott?
I stop at the coffee bar and get an Irish coffee, and then I go out to the cigar area where they have this big cigar ashtrays and stuff, and I've got about 8 ounces of Lafroig and an Irish coffee, and that's what I have at night, while the sun's
That's nice. Yeah, that's a good way
So
to
the cost on Seabourn cruises, just to give you an idea, the first Seabourn cruise I took was a Holy Land cruise. So I did Jerusalem and Jordan. And,
cool.
That one, I think, was 12 days long. And I had the crummiest cabin on the ship because obviously they're putting them on for free. So they're not giving me the high-end cabins. And my cabin had a balcony, a full suite with a separate bedroom, separate living room, multiple big screens TVs, a dry bar, a closet that they call a changing closet. It's way bigger than a walk-in closet where you go in and change clothes. They have racks for your shoes and everything, and a marble bathroom with a separate bathtub, separate shower, 2 sinks, a makeup table. And so that was the crummiest room on the entire ship. And that one was about $14,000 for 2 people for 14 or 12 days. So you usually figure roughly. It depends, and they go all sorts of pretty wild.
Here's what I'll say. If I had it, I would do it.
That's not it. It sounds shocking at first, but then you're like 12 days, unlimited food and alcohol.
Well, yeah, you're just being taken care of.
Like, have you gone to Disney World? You'll spend $10,000 at Disney World on garbage.
You're also not being pampered. Yeah. Like this is like I would imagine that this is a nicer. This is like the top tier. Like there's an element of what do you call that? Like
luxury
to it. Yeah.
And then
it's pretty. The sea launches are spectacular. I mean, I could tell you crazy stories about the stuff that goes on just to make passengers feel like they're having an epic cruise.
I love it.
But you also keep in mind there's no tipping. You're not allowed to tip. So, you go on a lot of cruises. It's like on Holland America, I think it's, I don't know, $10 to $13 a day per person.
Gratuity.
Or kind of the minimum tipping. Where on a seaborne cruise, the main dining room is like better than the high-end dining rooms on most cruise ships.
Yeah.
The high-end dining room is a Thomas Keller restaurant that's like a $500 person meal, and it's free. It's included with
right,
the cruise.
right,
So,
yeah. So everything is bespoke
the
and
total
cool.
cost is not as high as it seems like it would be.
You're right. No,
I'm in.
And that's why they could do it, because you put everybody in a cruise. It's easier to manage and keep costs low. Honestly, that's why we do Tom and Dan Cruise. There's no other way to go on an experience with our listeners with that low of a cost.
And keep the cost reasonable. Yeah,
it's
true.
It's
the most reasonable vacation for like almost every family that ever. We have somebody in the chat room that's never been asking like, oh, do you have any advice for a first time cruiser, or any place to start?
Now, what about
a lot of them are really good?
Because, when I went on an Alaskan cruise, it was a cool experience, and it seemed really efficient to see a bunch of places in Alaska, you know what I'm saying, as opposed to traveling around by car myself or whatever other form. And so me and my wife have talked about, the Alaskan cruise is valuable in seeing Alaska efficiently, because usually,
in a nice way.
You're not going to go to destinations in a cruise ship from Florida, because it's kind of like, if you really want to see the Bahamas, fly there and see the Bahamas. Don't go on a cruise if that's your point. Usually that's not people's
I get what you're saying.
point. So are there any really cool, besides Antarctica, other destinations that you would recommend?
So my favorite country to visit, and it's a good one to cruise on because it's small enough that on a 14-day cruise, you can literally go around the entire country, is New Zealand. I'm a big fan of that one. I'm a huge fan of Alaska cruises. I've taken more than 50. I think it's one of the biggest things.
You should have started with more than 50 Alaskan cruises, because to people that have been on cruises, and I've probably been on, 20-some, and my wife's probably been on 50-some, I've never been on an Alaska cruise. To me, you Alaskan cruisers, Tom is one, you're a 50-timer. I feel like that's the big dog.
They are cool.
So, and the cool thing about Alaska is it's an amazing bang for the buck. Alaska cruises is cheaper than Caribbean cruises. And I always tell people, don't get on a cruise necessarily to experience a destination, but it's a great way to go back and go, hey, I'm going to go to these 20 places and figure out if there's any I say, hey, I would love to come back here and stay for a bit. And I've stayed in Alaska too. I've gone up and, spent a couple weeks staying actually in different places in Alaska. But, so when you're going around New Zealand, you only have a few hours in a port each day, but you go, hey, this one city, I want to go back to Wellington, New Zealand for a week, or I want to go to Juneau, Alaska for a few days and Ketchikan for a few days.
Yeah, you're testing. You're testing the locations. It's a good way to broadly see an area, not really dive in so much. But then, it's the value is I get an idea of what it's about.
It's like when you get a White Claw multi-pack and you can try all the flavors.
Yeah.
It's exactly like that.
And very inexpensive. If you were to fly to New Zealand and go to 12 different cities, it would cost you a fortune. Where you can take a cruise around it relatively cheaply, and you're not having to pay for lodging and food and transportation and all this stuff. You're getting off in port each day and saying, okay, I'm going to try one or two things, a shore excursion, or go to a specific beach and go, okay, this is pretty awesome.
Yeah, Scott, but then really I wander in the casino and I'm blacked out.
Well, and then I never make it out. She's looking for me. She can find me.
My wife's been bitching at me, and I'm stuck in a small room with her, so I'm sitting at the blackjack table.
Then I want drugs, and I wandered an alley.
And then next thing you know, I've dropped $800 at the blackjack table, and I'm like, oh my God, if this old lady figures this out, I'm going to be screwed. And you're like, I know what I'll do. I'll win it back. Anyway,
exactly.
That's how they.
And that was all blackout. He was blacked out saying that.
Yeah, exactly.
Scott, thank you so much for your time, man. We appreciate it. Now we got to do the big question. I mean, you can do the chat room seems to think, and they started off saying this when you were talking about all your cruising, that they think you do very well for yourself.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to guess real quick, Scott, because of the advantage of these cruises. Because how awesome is that? Scott has done so many cruises. He's been to every continent. He's had all these experiences, and they paid for it.
Right.
So that's based into the compensation of his job, which
You're not sending your money home to your family, are you? I got to ask that. It's the first question on the questionnaire. It's like, do you have AIDS when you go to get
By the way, I've done the math, and I don't think Scott has a family. I don't think this is a job you could do with a family.
What a horrible
I am married.
Okay.
I used to travel 6 to 10 months a year, and now I only travel a couple of weeks a year. Although I did have to go to Australia for 2 months this year because I'm shutting down this company. But I travel a lot less now than I used to.
So how does your wife handle 2 months of? I guess
lot.
You know what? If you're married a long time, it sounds like a good deal.
I can't wait.
Well, so we haven't.
For both parties.
New Zealand, here I come.
Then you get back, it's new again. You're like,
Hey, tight.
Yeah, we've only been married for 4 years, but she worked. I met her on a cruise ship that I was installing some equipment on, so she's very familiar with the concept. She doesn't like if I go away a long time, but this is the only time since we've been married that I had to go away for significant time.
Scott, to me in steakhouse. I do not like when he has to go. I mean, I was making your wife Russian.
Well, she's actually Romanian.
Hey, yeah, on the board.
I guess right, you guess
I'm on the board. Oh my God, the Eastern Bloc ladies are so hot. Scott, Scott did it right. Scott did it right.
So
I love it when they come in. They're like, "Is something wrong with your steak?" And I'm like, "Yes, it is."
You're tougher than
you
me.
need to cut it for me, please.
Stomp it.
Yeah.
So, but I did 2 years ago. I was able to take her with me for 2 months to Australia. That trip could have been broken up into multiple pieces, but the flight is so long. I said, you know what? If you can go with me, we'll just stay there the whole time. And the company doesn't care whether they pay for a hotel for an extra week or two or fly me back and forth because the cost. It's actually cheaper for me to stay there. So
you might have the best one we've had. Like, look, you just keep adding more and more clay to this being an awesome job.
Like, but do you ever get tired of cruising, Scott? I'm trying to find the bad part of this.
Okay,
you ever oh God, because there's all the good locations. There's some bad ones.
Well,
like
he provided a wife for him, and he met the love of his life. He's been doing it for 15 years? You said. I think you do very well for yourself.
Like you have to go to Cancun. No offense to Cancun, but it's not good. This is not.
Well, there's a lot of places I've been over and over. And so there's a lot of things too. Like if I go to Cancun, I'm probably not going where you are, because if I've been there a bunch of times, I've either found something I really like or just don't get off the ship that day. It's like,
well, where do we go in Cancun? Tell us where to go.
Yeah. I've been going there. Senior Frogs.
Okay, last time, this is a true story, Scott, and we get in with this because I know we got to get you out of here. Last time Tom and I were in Senior Frogs, Senior Frogs came up to us and told us to tone it down because they're a family restaurant now. Do you remember that?
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, hold on a second, because that's not my Senior Frogs, because the Senior Frogs I was in is boobies out, everybody's crazy, whistles blowing, the tequila in the mouth.
I was like, does Mr. Frog know about this? Because he would not approve.
Let me speak to Frog.
Anyway, sorry.
I was actually on a cruise that was during spring break, college spring break, and I was doing some work on a ship. And when we left one port, we were still 800 people short, and they were all still Senior Frogs.
800. I love that.
So before we go, Scott, give us a roundabout. Someone in your position. What are they pulling in? And these awesome benefits.
Well, I mean, I don't know if it matters if anybody knows what I make. I make.
You can do it better than. You can do like a little more than this, or like we don't want to make you that uncomfortable.
Yeah,
but
I mean, I make more than 120, and I get 5 weeks of vacation a year, and obviously matching 401k.
You're making people sad.
You're making people want to learn computers.
Yeah, you really are. It's too late. It's too late.
Learn computers right now do AI. They're hiring AI guys for $250,000.
No, but you're already in it. They're not going to hire the schlub driving right now. Listen to this. He's done for.
I can't even do nothing.
That guy's good.
No chance.
You're good as dead. Good as dead.
I'm dead already.
Yeah. Why do you think I'm trying? I'm trying. I'm hanging on by the skin of my teeth.
You're far away. I'm dead. I'm one bullet. That's all I got.
When you hear the robots stomping, when you hear the marching of the robots coming, one bullet right through the skull.
That's right.
Well, Scott, you have an awesome job.
You might be the winner. We should keep a tote board like Top Gear did.
Yeah.
Because I think cruise ship IT back in repair guy is what I'm calling you.
What's the worst part?
I think it's the best job.
What's the worst part about your job? Because you said all pretty good.
dry docks are nightmares.
Yeah, that's what back in my college days, dry docks were bad.
Yeah, yeah. Is that something with a hooker? I don't know what you explain.
Yeah, when it's not lubed up. It's dry from the drug use.
Every couple of years, we take the ship out of the water and do maintenance to it. And so when I have to go to a dry dock, and a lot of time I'm there just to babysit to make sure nobody screws up the system or shuts off the air conditioning while it's running and, stupid things like that. The dry dock will be in, I was in a dry dock in Singapore earlier this year. And you're in an area where it's 110 degrees out and you're in a giant black metal box sitting in a bigger black metal box. So it's 110, 120
You know
degrees
what I
on the
do?
ship.
You know what I do?
The air conditioning shut off. The food is really, really, really bad. They're jackhammering all night. You can't sleep. It's not a good time.
Jackhammering all night. You know what you got to do? You got to pack up, and I believe you. You got to just pack up, and you got to go one thing on your mind: razor blade show. Dry dock in Singapore. I'm heading straight to the red light district, and I'm one razor blade show, please, and add a side of ping pong show, please.
There's actually in Singapore. There's a cigar speakeasy. The cigars are illegal to smoke inside there.
I bet there is.
Been to. That's where I end up going there a lot. Just to get in the air conditioning.
I know what you do with cigars.
Yeah, I know what you do there. Yeah, give me a razor blade, a ping pong, and a Clinton. We got to get him out of here.
Right, Scott, thank you so much for doing a weird job with us, and thank you for telling us so much stuff.
Yeah, that was great, man. We appreciate you.
You're welcome.
All right, see you, Scott.
Take care, man. See you.
Right,
I feel bad.
That's a good job.
Yeah, that's a great job.
Man, that although you probably
still thinking about that razor blade show.
Where does it go?
No one knows. That's what makes it so impressive. I bet Coach Kimlock can figure it out.
All right, we'll see you tomorrow. Welcome to Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. We're live on Twitch and YouTube. Come hang out. Just search for @Tom and Dan Live wherever you watch your podcasts, and I know a lot of you do.
On Zoom with us right now from the New Blurred Order podcast, comedian Vince Taylor. How you doing, Vince?
Hey, what's going on, Tom? What's going on, guys?
Very good to see you. We have been. I've been in North Georgia doing hillbilly things. I've been
going back to Stone Mountain.
Yeah.
Where it all started.
I'm boiling peanuts now. I bought myself a boiled peanut cooker. I am. I'm starting a boiled peanut business, and I bought myself.
You should sell them at the beer fest. Like you should get it down enough.
You know what? That's a good idea.
And then just get someone else to run it, or you get behind there. Like you'll make some money.
I don't want to do it for free.
No,
for BDMs. BDMs are free. No, BDMs are free.
Okay.
BDMs are free. They got to show their app. But anyway, so I'm starting you like boiled peanuts at all?
I despise. I think boiled peanuts are like satanic. Like they don't seem like they should be consumed by humans. I know that puts me at odds with the South.
Not at all. Not at all. Andrea's mother, it feels exactly the same way. My wife's mother hates my boiled peanuts.
Peanuts ain't supposed to be soggy. You know what I'm saying? They ain't supposed to be like wet and mushy and come on, man. Like you ain't supposed to drink peanuts.
I think this is another thing. I mean, you could correct me if I'm wrong, but I also believe it's another thing we stole from the black man because I think this is an African delicacy.
George Washington Carver.
No, dig in. I'm telling you. No, I think that this was a way that people in Africa. I think the peanuts go that far back, man. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, dude, you better look it up.
I'm willing to let white folks have boiled peanuts.
Yeah, I was about to say, I was like, boiled peanuts, it does seem like a white people thing. It's like the white people's version of collard greens.
Oh, it was man, when we were roadside in North Georgia, when we went to Norton's Nuts, we went 30 minutes out of our way to get these boiled peanuts. And we'll stop talking about boiled peanuts. I know people get mad. But man, it was white, black, Asian, Latin. Everybody was in the parking lot lined up. It was like no race. No race at all. It was like peanuts see no color, sir. Peanuts see no color.
All right. So diversified nuts. Yeah. I'm still not into.
I got you.
The boiled. I just cannot. It just feels sacrilege.
I get you. I know. I understand. I get it. They're not for everybody.
Vince, I saw you're recently in Seattle. What were you there for comedy up there?
Yeah, there was some comedy, but honestly, I took the wife with me as well. That was the main course of the because I don't always get to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So
it was her birthday weekend as well. So the little couple of comedy joints, as cool as they are, they're redundant. So I don't even post. Like I did get to frolic amongst the people of Seattle and kind of learn more about what Seattle culture is. And yeah, I wasn't expecting it to be. you see on the news, like places like Portland, how they go, real wild politically. Like I can see now, like they go hard for folks that are not there. There's not a lot of black folks there, but they feel like they got to represent for the ones that ain't. And sometimes I feel like it'd be nice if there were more there to tell them, like, it's all right, calm down.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
what were they doing? Like, they're just like,
because there's like protests. We ran into like some protests, like that were, kind of like, I don't know if they were Black Lives Matter or past, I don't know, whatever, but they were like very lily white folks, 100%, and
they're like, "Hey, we're doing this for you. Hey, come over." You're like, "I don't want to." You're like, "Hey, we got one.
Hey,
come
get over here.
Get over here.
Yay.
I just thought that was fascinating. It was one of those cities where we start to, like, me and the wife, we start playing Where's Waldo with black folks. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, hey, you know what I'm saying? And I think by the time we left, we were up to about 12, 14. Very, very, very nice folks. Very beautiful city. There's this mountain. I don't know if y'all are aware of this.
Yeah.
Mountain.
Oh, yeah.
It's scary as hell. It's the scariest mountain I've ever seen in my life. It comes out of the woods like a giant troll. And they have trolls that they built all around Seattle too that are like tourist attractions. But I can't remember the name of this mountain, but it's like real, man, somebody Google it real quick. It's the biggest mountain in Seattle. You can see it from Canada. It's nuts. It came out of the woods and do y'all see Never Ending Story? Do you remember that big rock monster?
Yeah.
Like it looks like that. You know what I'm saying? But you see it from like far away. So it literally looks like what it would look like to see Godzilla. It's just extremely, it's intimidating. I've never been so intimidated.
Mount Rainier.
Rock.
It was Mount Rainier.
Mount Rainier.
Yeah.
Bro. I'm talking about, like, just imagine you're driving down I-4, and because it's cloudy in Seattle all the time. So you drive down I-4 every day, no big deal. And then one day it's a clear day, and you look up, and there's a big-ass transformer in the sky. Like, that's what it feels like, because it's cloudy all the time. On one of our last days, the clouds cleared up, and now there's this big freaking Godzilla King Kong mountain that's so far away, but you can see the little details. So from so far away, that's how you know how big it is, just like looking at the moon. And so it was real creepy. I mean, at least I'm pretty sure that's what happened.
That's awesome.
I've seen Mount Rainier from Seattle before, and it's cool being in a city as big as Seattle and then having a giant mountain so close to it, because you're like, whoa, because you're like, if you've been to Philadelphia or New York or whatever, it's flat for the most part, and like,
it's all buildings,
and
all city.
And then being in like a giant city like Seattle, and then like you're like, also the ocean's on one side of you, and then there's a giant mountain, and so it's pretty unique in that way.
It's a lot of texture there.
You could live in the city life, and then right outside, all of a sudden you're in really beautiful country, mountains. The opposite way, you're now in the ocean. So it's like Seattle's pretty. Now, like you said, though, most of the year it's rainy, cloudy, and like when you see the mountain, people are saying, like, tell you how special. Like, oh, we never see this thing. It's like usually it's gray, rainy.
Yeah, it's you could definitely see why Edward and Jacob stayed up there for so long in the Twilight series. But for me, what I was fascinated with was this market. Have y'all seen these public supermarket joints? Like, there's this market where they get fish.
Oh yeah, we've been there. We went there.
It's like a big deal. Can you help me understand? I think maybe was it Sleepless in Seattle, or there was a movie that made this real popular. But they get these fish, and all the people crowd around, and they announce it, hey, Bass, going to Boston. And then they throw it across the room, and everybody cheers for it, and I don't understand it. So do y'all have any idea what I'm talking about?
It's another, we were there. I caught a fish.
Yeah, he caught a fish, and we have it on video. We went there. Yeah. We were working for Orlando City at the time, and we did some work in Seattle. And we went to the market, and he caught a fish, and then we rode the big Ferris wheel. Yeah. We also, it's right when Uber rolled out, and we got into an Uber, and I don't know if you remember this, but the Uber driver got on, he went down a construction exit, and then we got on a bridge that wasn't completed yet, and we're driving up a non-completed bridge, and we're like, yo, dude, you got to turn around. Like, you're going to kill us and drive us off a bridge. It was wild. But Seattle's fun, man. Seattle's a great, really, really cool city.
Tell me about the fish. How you caught the fish? Like,
Yeah, because it's all a tourist. Like it started with.
It's like Carlos and Charlie's of Seattle. It's like you go there and you catch the fish and you get a picture with the fish man.
Yeah.
What's the big deal? Help me understand. Like, why is that a tourist attraction? Why is that fascinating?
Well, I think in order to...
It's another white people thing.
Yeah. It's like boiled peanuts.
White people love fish. They love throwing fish. They love
they like
fishermen.
Fish, like fishing.
And watch them sit there and unload the fish that they got from whatever that day. Is that just? I mean, is it because it's fresh?
Well, no. I think when they're selling that, when they're selling it at the market in order to speed it up, I think that like the guy will say like, "Hey, we get a tuna here." The guy yells to get a tuna. He takes the tuna, he throws it up to the guy. He grabs it, marks it down, wraps it up, and gives it to the customer and gets him on his way. And I think that's how it became like a thing. Yeah, and the fishmonger does that.
And then just like a lot of things in life, like real world problem solving, which was, hey, the easiest way to get this fish from one place to another is to throw it.
Yeah.
And then it just became a tourist thing. Like, oh, you got to go to the fish market and watch them throw a fish. Now they just turned it into a moneymaker where there's a bunch of white people and then a lot of Asian tourists.
Yeah.
And they watch them throw the fish, take a picture.
I'll give you another one.
And then you have to tip them.
You have to tip them. I'll give you another
here's
one.
$1.
There's a restaurant in the Carolinas that I don't know if it's a chain. I think it used to be a chain, but it was called Cock of the Walk. And it was like their thing was that whenever you wanted more cornbread at your table, the guy, your server would literally stand at the kitchen and throw the cornbread to your table and you'd catch it.
Yeah,
and it would go boom, and it would land on you, and you'd put it on the table. I did it as a kid, and it was like a thing, and they're just tossing cornbread in there all day, and it was like, there's no cornbread. There's no logical reason to do it. There's no reason why Cock of the Walk was throwing cornbread other than it was a gimmick, and you tip your server. It's same thing.
Yeah. It's probably going back to peanuts, how restaurants started realizing like you go to Roadhouse, you throw your peanuts onto the floor.
Yeah. It's just like a tradition of some dumb thing.
It probably started with something like, everybody likes just throwing their peanuts on the floor. Let's just make that the gimmick. And then it turns into a dumb thing.
Yeah.
Where people are like, let's take a selfie with the peanuts.
It's just weird. I just don't imagine that, because it's a fish spot, they like to see the fish. They're not going to do it at a chicken spot. You're not going to see this at a beef spot. It's exclusive to fish, I'm assuming.
Yeah, well, fish are less gross when they're pre-butchered. Okay, a fish nude is less gross than a chicken nude. Because a chicken, you have to pull off its feathers out. Like a fish, you kind of keep the scales on everything. It just still looks like a fish. It looks like a cartoon fish.
And people don't associate it with like a dead animal,
right?
As like you throw a dead chicken, people are like,
oh,
like fish, dead fish. People are more okay with.
Yeah, they are.
So you could throw around like you try to do this as a baby, like a
I think
baby cow, and like here's some veal, and you're whipping a baby cow, and people are like, oh.
I would catch a baby cow though if you threw it at me because I don't want to get injured by it. Also, you know what? Crazy. You know who I thank for this, Vince? Indian people. Because a lot of Indian food, you'll cook the fish with the head on it. You just cook the whole fish. Why waste all that delicious cheek meat? All the good eyeballs and stuff. So I feel like and Caribbean folks too, you're right. Like, so they've cooked whole ocean like creatures their entire lives, so it's not gross.
I don't know. There's also that sky thing. Did y'all go up into that? What's it called? Space needle. Space Needle?
I did that with my pop-up the other time I was in Seattle. We went there for like an Alaskan cruise with my grandfather, and then we went up in the Space Needle and ate dinner in the revolving, like up on top.
Yeah.
The you sit and it revolves slowly, and the middle stays still. So basically, you get into the middle to take the elevator, but the outside is like the slowly revolving.
That's like where you go for like a retirement dinner, right?
Yeah. It's like kind of cool, but again, you're paying, triple the price of all the food and beverages because you're in this gimmick.
And if it's broken, do you get your money back?
I don't know. That's a good question. I would ask for it like, hey, this thing's not revolving.
I was like, get out there and push it.
I found it to be underwhelming.
Yes.
Space Needle. It felt underwhelming. I was expecting a more massive, a better representation.
You know why?
Seattle.
Because I think at one time, back when Sean Kemp, Gary Payton, when we're thinking about that, the Space Needle was an actual needle of space. But now the buildings are so tall and technology is so great that is a dump.
It's
it is
underwhelming.
A dump. Yeah, it is it's a nothing
Right.
now. We have so many nothings. Like even the damn Kia Center here. Like we have an amazing venue here in town, and it's 10 years old, and that thing's it's a dump. It's a dump. Technology, everything's a dump.
I'll say this and I'll get up off of Seattle real quick. It's such a nice city during the day and folks are really delightful and it's got a good seafood selection, obviously, because they got the fresh markets and all that. Real hilly, it's a contrast. If you're a Central Florida person, like hilly, it's like steep hills. But the night was a little scary. I'll tell you a little quick story. I went down to a 7-Eleven to purchase cigar products. Mind your business. Never mind what that's all about. And while I was going down there, I couldn't help but notice that the same people that were out at night were not the same people that were out during the day. It's almost like there's a 9:00 curfew for the scary folks that come out. And then it all of a sudden became like L.A. And it's just like, really, really, really freaky. I got to the 7-Eleven door and I went inside and I had to go through. You ever had to go through, like women say they have to go through like people, like men that are on the stairs and then they have to, oh, hey, what's up, lady? Like that's how it felt for me going through these, I don't want to call them, I don't know what they are, but these troubled individuals. Hey man, come on, let me in. And then at one point in time, I saw a dude in a wheelchair. He was trying to get in. He said, hey, come on, you can really talk.
Oh, these are all mental. These are a bunch of cuckoo bananas you're dealing with.
You said it. And okay, the dude can't even get in, man. Let me let him in. I open up the door to let him in, and he comes in. And as soon as I do, the dude that works there is like, no, don't not.
You let in Jerry. He always pees next to the Reese cups. Jerry's going to wheel his ass over to the corner and where you fill out your lotto, and he's going to pee a big puddle on the ground. Great job, Vince.
It's big city homeless.
Yeah.
Like I dealt with it in New York City recently back in April, and I love a good big city homeless because they all have characters.
It's authentic. It's like being in the old West. It's like a real cowboy.
They're famous around town. Like everybody knows them. The big city homeless.
Like there's two twins in Daytona that are topless. I think they're homeless too. But they're like just topless homeless.
Yeah. And
okay, I ain't met them yet. That probably would have been a little
You'll
more.
meet them. They're coming for you.
All right, cool. But that was cool. It was a fun trip, fella. It was a fun trip.
Good, man. I'm glad it was successful.
So, Vince, I want to talk about two nerd topics that I saw. The real Vince Taylor is Vince's Instagram page. And, of course, New Blurred Order is his podcast. And I saw you talk about two different things, one of them being the live-action Zelda movie that's coming out. So tell us about it, Vince.
All right, well, there's supposed to be a Zelda movie that's being pitched, and I frankly am not enthusiastic about it because I just don't think that Link, who's the main character in Zelda, has a real character arc for us to learn about. Plus, in the games we've all played, Link has had no voice. Now, you can say the same thing about Mario. I get it. You can say the same, Mario didn't. But he did. He had a voice. Yeah, he spoke in Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. He spoke in Mario Kart. He spoke every now and then. But Link never speaks. Link is just So I don't think that a Link movie, especially because Link typically has one villain, and that's Ganon. I don't think that a Link movie is going to serve the purpose that the game serves, which is long-standing, long entertaining, action-based gameplay. I think that a movie, they're going to be looking for some sort of charisma from Riz, as the kids say, from the main character. And I don't think Link can provide that. So who else provides it? The surrounding characters?
Hold on, Vince. Let me pitch.
It's difficult for them to make that.
Let me pitch to you the live-action Zelda movie, okay?
I'm listening.
So you make it Lord of the Rings style.
Well, I was trying to think of a lead character for Link, and I was drawing
Timothy Chalamet.
Oh my God, he is Link. Yeah, oh my God, and he's gentle.
I knew.
He's got gentle arms.
Yeah, you get Chalamet, you put some pointy ears.
He can't be muscly. He's got to have gentle arms.
Yeah. Good looking for the women.
Yeah, he's got to be he's got to be like rat-like, gentle arms, slight. And he's got to have a huge affection for Timberland boots.
Yeah.
Oh, Chalamet's always wearing Timberlands unlaced. And I'm like, you're not a rapper. In my day, we'd kick your ass if you wore those. Take those off, Chalamet.
Now, who plays Zelda? Like, because
Princess Zelda?
The storyline is so easy.
Leah Dunham.
It's so easy Vince.
I'm gonna get an email
because
about that.
because it is it's Link searching to rescue the princess, Princess Zelda. Like it's a story as old as time. I feel like it writes
No,
itself.
you can't say that. That's Beauty and the Beast.
But
great.
I don't think.
Go ahead.
Man.
Well, no, I was saying, then you do it in the vein of Lord of the Rings, and if it's shot really well, like I feel like it could be successful. Plus, it's got a huge franchise that we're all aware of. Like you come out with the live action Zelda, people, I feel like they'll go out to see it. Our demographic.
Yeah, Ghost is saying in our Twitch chat room that 2 unknowns were already cast. So.
Oh God,
I'm just not. Listen, okay. If we think about the successful models for video games that have translated into movies, right? They typically have not necessarily been as successful when they're taking a story like this and making it into a live action model. Mario didn't achieve success until it was translated into an animated series. Last of Us was made into not a series, but a movie. Last of Us was made into a series. They have a lot of the games that we played were made into series. Halo, because I believe that there's too much depth there for you to provide in a 2-hour, and especially when it comes to Zelda, like you're really going to be able to squeeze.
Okay, that's a great point.
Growing up around elves. And why he is an elf, even though he's not an elf, doesn't talk, by the way, which was the point I made in my post. It's like Link has 0 voice, and he doesn't know Zelda like that. And I feel like if you try to squeeze all of that in 2 hours, there's no way. It's just not possible. I just don't feel like it's going to be successful. I just think that it'll be better served if you gave us. They have Rings of Power, the show, which is based on characters in Lord of the Rings. I feel like that type of format is better suited for this. Now I might just be getting greedy because I want to see more of it, but I also don't want to see it rushed and made into something that it could have just to make it when you can make it much better. And then he says, think about this for a second. You're filming it in if we're taking Tommy's business approach with this and looking at it like Lord of the Rings, right? Lord of the Rings is a cast of characters, right? Like what cast of characters? We already learned that this is unknown, right? What characters are we having around Link that make it palatable? Link does not ride with a
he's
squad.
a loner. Yeah, he rolls alone.
He rides with his horse, Epona, right?
Yeah.
He rides with fairies, right? And I mean, now, once you start telling me the names of these folks, maybe you'll have some to the tape. But if they do a movie, I almost guarantee you it will not be a one-off because you cannot squeeze a Ganon story that transcends multiple generations with the Triforce and the Ganonites.
I think I agree with you.
Hold on,
because it's too complicated to squeeze in there. I really believe. Yeah, I
want to see a project. I'm cool with a project,
right?
Just the movie aspect of it. Live action too. I honestly feel like they'd be better served. Remember, there was the cartoon. For a short period of time,
it was great.
Like on Saturdays.
Yeah, it was old school, but
like they should experiment with like a modern day version.
Now, wasn't there something to that, Vince? And maybe the chat room knows, or maybe you know. I thought that when Breath of the Wild and what's the other one? The Kingdom.
There's Ocarina of Time.
Well, whatever. The 2 new ones that you can get the updates for Switch 2 now. The 2 big ones that like the animation's just mind-blowingly good, right?
Yeah.
And the game depth is mind-blowingly good. I'm surprised they didn't just take that and Tears of the Kingdom, I guess. Yeah, I thought they were going to take that and make that into like a like not an adult, but like let's say a 13 plus really cool animated. Like, because the art is great, the art is beautiful, so they already have it. They're ready to go.
They better not, because that'll be the most frustrating movie in the history of the world. I got that game, and it is hard.
They're hard games, yeah, but they're beloved games.
On reality, you'll never make it through the movie because it's going to be too difficult for you to get through it. Like, you're not going to be able to find whatever sword you need. You're going to run out of hearts before you get to the end. Like, nah. I don't know about it. The game is too difficult. I had to let it go. I had to walk away from the game. This is too frustrating.
I got you.
And I don't want to, I'm like, remember, we've already spoken about not using walkthroughs. So, yeah, I mean, I probably would walk through this movie.
Yeah, you might have to. I had to use the newest Zeldas. I've had to use walkthroughs. I'm not good anymore.
So
yeah, Tom.
Link has the magic sword. He's got a bow and arrow. What other? Does he got an invisible cloak? He's got all that.
You earn all these things, right? As you keep playing. you get you get little pieces of the Triforce. Each of them come with a higher power level. You can gain things like the boomerang was one of my favorite things to use.
Boomerang.
Of course, the arrows. Of course, you have regular arrows.
Have you played the new one? You should play it.
I never played the new one.
It's good. It's slow though. I mean, like it takes a lot of. You got to work on it.
What I really hope that they do include in the live action is his raging gambling habit, because if you remember the game, he used to lose all of these rubies to this little thing in the cave. Remember, he'd be like, "Hey, you want to put down 30 of these rubies?" Yeah, okay, all right.
That's why I learned how to gamble.
I was going to say it coming out of my mouth.
I was like, of course I want to put them down.
As you were saying that, Tom's eyes started flickering like he was having a core memory unlocked, and he's like, "Holy F! I think that's where my father." Wasn't your dad's favorite video game Zelda?
Yeah,
and you'd play it. You deleted his game.
There's a cave. There's a gambling
cave.
Get in there. You want to risk your rubies? Of course I do. Oh, God, I lost again.
Lost all my rubies.
Bro, he used to lose so many rubies, man. So I hope they include that. Show him going through withdrawal. Show him having to recover.
That's
show him
funny.
getting rehabilitated. Like the whole gambling circuit. Like they should include that in the live action as well. But not opposed to the production. Just
No, I got you. And I didn't even think about it. But yeah, and we already know we're getting another Mario, right? We're getting a second Mario movie. We know that.
We're getting another Mario. I'm not as much into, Mario. If they keep I like Mario, but I like the extension of Mario into Mario Kart 2. I hope that they get a little bit into that, because I'm assuming y'all don't y'all play Mario Kart?
Yeah, I got the new one. I've been playing the hell out of the new Mario Kart World. Like, I've almost unlocked everybody.
Vince,
I play a lot.
There was a time where I would beat my sons at all time. I'd shove it in their face. I'd be the Wiggler, and I'd make fun of them. The Wiggler beat him again.
Never play with the Wiggler.
To the point where one of my sons would start crying. You storm off. And then
you got to make them storm off. That's how you get them to manage their anger.
And then now my son Max, like, we went on a long road trip and his iPad died, so he just he got his Switch, and he just started playing for hours. I think in Sweden too.
Oh, he's been
like
training.
in the plane, and he has got number one in every race. And then I played him the other day. I was like, let's see what you got. Vince, he blew the doors off me. I never had I was trying my absolute hardest, and he was beating me every time. Never even had a chance. And then I was like, this is a pivotal point as a man and a dad in my life where I could no longer beat
digital beatdown.
I could no longer beat my son Max in Mario Kart because I do not have the time to put into what he like. No. I was living off my experience as a 43-year-old man, and now he has surpassed me.
This is the plot for that new Marlon Wayans movie called Him. You seen that movie? Marlon Wayans is playing the old quarterback, and then the young quarterback gets a catastrophic injury, and then he has to go to train at the compound, and then it's a horror movie. Oh, it looks great. Oh, it looks. It's a new Jordan Peele movie, and it looks good. Marlon's playing I'm only imagining like a badass legacy quarterback.
Okay.
Who I guess is part demon. I'm just guessing. That's just my assumption. And then the young kid that's like the up and comer is he's like a number one prospect. I guess he gets some sort of catastrophic injury, and then he has to go to the Marlon Wayans' compound to maybe train and regain his skill to get back on the team. And then it kind of looks like maybe the older the quarterback has to put him through a series of crazy sawed football trials in order to win his freedom or something. It looks awesome. It looks so dumb and awesome. I'm in. And Marlon's a good friend of the show and very kind. And last time he was in here, he was talking about doing this. He couldn't say a lot but he did say to us off
That'd
the
be
air
a big deal for him
that he was working with Jordan Peele, and he said, "Don't say anything about it." And now we can say it, and I'm excited to see the movie.
Okay, well, I very much like Marlon Wayans. I like some of the things he says. He goes against sometimes the popular thing to say, and I appreciate that. And I do hope that despite the weird plot that this has, that the movie does well. Definitely better than Ice Cube's most recent. Have y'all seen?
I wrote that down to talk to you, man. You're in my head. I wrote that down to talk to you. A 0% score on Rotten Tomatoes?
That seems a little. I mean, 0.
Yeah, I like Ice Cube. So anyway, what happens? I guess Ice Cube did a remake of War of the Worlds. It's currently out, and you can, I guess, watch it. And it currently has a 0% on Rotten Tomatoes. And I guess from the headline I got, is it a big commercial for Amazon Prime or something? Is it?
Bro, it's like the whole thing is like he's on a Zoom call. like the whole movie. Have y'all seen? It's like literally like this is the movie. Like put some. Put
well, this is terrible.
You was on a Zoom call. Hold on.
Like, the movie's called War of the Worlds, but you ain't got no pants on. You know what I'm saying? Like doing a Zoom call, like it just doesn't jive with the brand. But I think the movie would have been fine if it had been called anything other than War of the Worlds. It could have been called Black Man on Computer,
Black Man on
Aliens,
Computer.
and people would have been like, hell yeah! It could have been like Cube comes to kill all Green Man. Something stupid, it don't matter. But War of the Worlds, when you following Tom Cruise, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You're following Tom Cruise with the Zoom call movie. Like it's not gonna work, bro. And kudos to whoever thought this up, because the concept was fine. Like I didn't mind what was happening. It was just like, yo, when you slap the War of the World brand on it, you expect certain things.
Yeah.
You don't expect to be fighting your zombies through a FaceTime call. You know what I'm saying? And that's essentially what was happening.
I'm not even clever enough to know how to fight an alien or whatever over a Zoom call. I don't even know what I do. What button do I click to shoot him? Is there a flame button?
It's a microphone. It's a microphone. The one button no one can find.
But and I love Ice Cube. When I first heard the concept of this, Tom and Dan, I was like, yo, give me the blackest of the black man fighting aliens, and that's a movie that's going to sell out on any day in the neighborhoods that I've come from. Especially when Cube gets real. Hey, winner. You know, like Cube got that face. Like,
he was the. I'll say it. I said it once. I'll say it again for the people in the back. If you haven't seen the new animated Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, Ice Cube is the greatest character in that. His character has some unforgettable lines. He's Fly Guy, and it's the best. He's the best villain because he's the funniest and coolest.
I don't understand.
Man, I'm the super duper fly around here.
Yeah,
you did a good Ice Cube.
It's just really good. So yes, if you'd have given me that with him holding guns and blowing people away, he's a good actor. I'd watch that. I like Ice Cube.
Ice Cube, bro. Listen, this is a good movie to watch if you got nothing else to do and just want to laugh a little bit, because it's got some.
We have a listener that watched it, Jen, in our chat room. She said she watched it because it had a 0. She just wanted to experience it. She says he plays a security guy for the government. She said it's real bad. It's real bad. She said it's real bad.
Bro, it's bad. Like it's it's laughable bad though. It's like I don't know what's gonna be worse, this or The Naked Gun. I don't know. If
people are saying Naked Gun is really good. Now, where are we at with lolcows? Because is it possible that this is a lolcow?
What's that?
Where you make something or you're a character that people like are laughing at, but you don't care. As long
like
as you
Sharknado or something like that. It's so absurd.
Well, just the idea of like almost like leaning in. Like there are certain influencers that do that. You know, is it possible that Ice Cube, the team that made this movie, everybody involved knows that this is terrible, knows that people are laughing at them, but they're like, we don't care. Look how many people are firing it up.
Like at one point, he hit someone with a 40. If you know what I'm saying, he does all the tropes.
I don't know what's in it, but is it possible to make something, because like we're talking about now, we're graded by the number of eyes or the number of clicks that land on something. We're not graded on whether something is good or authentic or
who cares?
Who cares?
If it gets a bunch of views, they don't care what the rating says.
Right. So a 0 on Rotten Tomatoes, one of the greatest things you can do for a movie that has a 0 on Rotten Tomatoes is write 21,000 articles about how it has a 0 on Rotten Tomatoes. Because
if it had an 8,
my friend SJ 25. In the chat room said that he and his wife already have it scheduled to watch tomorrow night for like their Friday night movie night. So my point is, like, where are we at? Because that's
where we're at. Yeah, it's like they may have, this may be in the plan. Like, hey, let's make a bet. Let's call it War of the Worlds. So people are like, wait, you can't diminish the franchise of War of the Worlds like this. And they're like, who cares? We don't care. Ice Cube's going to be saying corny things.
And it also costs nothing. It's a Zoom call. How much did it cost to make this movie? $2.
Yeah. And
I didn't think about that, man. That is brilliant marketing. Yo, maybe that's what Fantastic Four should do. Just have them completely wipe out any of the good reviews they got. So that or Thunderbolts or whatever it is, the guy come Superman, all of that good stuff.
It just doesn't matter. It's almost like we're like, I mean, like people.
Well, it's gonna be real bad, Vince. Like it's gonna be super low budget to the point where it does get a guaranteed 0, where they know. I mean, here's the Ice Cube is not a dodo. Like, the guy is a smart guy.
Well, that's the only reason that I'm like, kind of like, well, this is dumb because, like, wait a minute. But also, Vince, he's been touted by multiple people, even people that don't want to say it, that he's a good actor.
Oh, yeah. No, he's a good actor.
Yeah, there are people that watch him and be like, well, it pains me to say this. You know, like it is. The trope of like, it pains me to to tell the black rapper that he's a good actor. They're forced to say it because he's a good actor. So my point is, why would he do it?
I mean, Anaconda, he did have a very
one of my favorite movies. One of my favorite. I love me some Anaconda, man. And
I'll never forget that acting he did in that movie. Today Was a Good Day, which I think was a video. When he low back, I believe it was you make the ass drop.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, listen, I do think that there may be some sort of some conspiracy with regard to this to get people to watch.
Yeah.
But it's like a cringe viral video. It was like when what was that girl? She was like a beauty contestant, and they asked her a question. She was like, for children of the world, I think that we should like such as, and
such as.
Yeah,
like, it gets 2 million views, but where is she now? I don't know if just the views on the project is always a winning goal. But I would watch another one if they leaned into how bad this was. I ain't gonna lie. I'd be curious to hear what y'all thought about it. If y'all ever.
Maybe we'll fire it up. I'll see.
I was surprised. I looked up Ice Cube's age. How old do you think he is?
I think he's my age, or maybe a little older than me.
I want to say he's 55. I
was going to say 52.
Yeah, no, Vince got it right. It's 56. I thought, because in my mind, Ice Cube was an older man when I was young.
No, you got to use Snoop Dogg math. They started.
They started young.
Yeah, those guys started. Snoop Dogg is like, when did you start rapping, cousin? He's like, 12 years old, son.
You know, Snoop Dogg's 49. He's like Daniel's age. Or he's maybe 50 or something.
And also, it's funny because Ice Cube and Snoop sometimes they'll have gray in their beard, sometimes they won't. It just depends on how they want to look. They can look any way
they get away with it.
Yeah, they can get away with it for sure.
I just thought he was way older. I expected him to be in his 60s.
Well, they had him use gray in the trailer, so now he looks a little more frazzled, and he's got like a bushier beard and everything. But I don't know. I like his new album.
I don't know, but I would love to see more of Ice Cube in much of anything. I'm surprised he hasn't popped up in a Marvel project or like a DC project. Like, why can't Cube be Punisher or something like that?
Dude, Cube as Punisher would be really good. That'd be, I would watch the hell out of that.
You watch that? All this talk about Blade, not getting made, man. Yeah. Let's make Cube into, could you imagine a Cube? Man, where them zombies at, man?
Yeah, I mean, like that edge, you're onto something. That edge and then you put that like weird Training Day like edge on it and suspense. Oh my God, that'd be a hell of a movie, dude.
Hey man, I'm coming out there right now. I see any of these vampires out there. What?
That's a great cue.
A little piece of joint with you, Smokey. Like I want to see more of that. Please.
Yeah, that would be great.
Vince, speaking of theoretical movies, I saw another post of yours where you were talking about a good premise for a Kill Bill 3. Do you want to tell us about that?
Well, I mean, y'all, I'm assuming, have seen Kill Bill.
Oh, yeah. Very. In fact, one of the only movies that I owned every version, like I would buy, I'd buy like Blu-ray, that's like that's weird. I'm not a movie guy.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very unique movie. How many movies do we have where the antagonist gets shot in the beginning while she's pregnant and then stays alive long enough to take out everybody that was even in the vicinity while it happened to her? This is a genius. And I mean, I've always kind of had a love-hate relationship with Quentin Tarantino flicks because I feel like he throws the N-word in for no reason. It's like, dude, you're not Spike Lee. Like, calm down. But
yeah, Tom likes to do that when we're playing Monopoly. He'll just throw it in there.
Only when I go to jail. And then it's more of a Hulk Hogan.
He'll yell at me. Yeah. He's like, I'm going to jail, brother.
That's just racist soul. No, I'm just playing.
Make sure to put your flag half mast.
Sure, right.
Yeah, me too. I'll be getting right on that.
The concept is, and I feel like when I even as a young buck, when I saw this scene, I was like, oh, this is the setup for the sequel. When the black mamba, I believe she was called, when she went into the kitchen to kill, I believe it was the yellow mamba, or whatever she
Vivica
was.
Fox.
Yeah. Fox's character.
Yeah, yeah.
And she's like, yo, hold on, man. Like, my kid about to, you know what I'm saying, be home. She's like, man, ain't nobody trying to wait for you. Like, yo, you got to kill me and my kid. My kid dead. All right. She's like, all right, blah, blah, blah. And so they fought it out and she dies. And eventually you see her basically standing up after killing her, and her daughter, the girl who she just killed, her daughter is standing right there, and she sees her mother's killer standing over her, and she looks back to her and says, yo, I understand, this is bad, and if you feel any way about it, when you grow up, I'll be waiting for you. You know what I'm saying? And then she walks out. Chick just got off of the bus. You know what I'm saying? She came home to get some snacks, Capri Sun, whatever.
Yeah.
She don't know what to do now. And then she goes about the rest of the movie. All right, that scene ends, and then she continues to go find Bill and this, that, the third. But that girl is still sitting there looking at her dead mom in the kitchen after she leaves. She still got to go to school tomorrow. She still got to eat that night. And does she grow up with resentment? Does she remember that face? Does she black out? What happens? Does she say, okay, I'm going to use this to fuel my anger for the next 10 years and then go on the same type of journey that baby girl did?
No, you switch it up. You make it a little old boy. You make her go and you make her train with the woman. What's her name?
Uma Thurman.
And
I like to call her Kill Bill. That's how dumb I am. The girl Kill Bill.
The girl trained with Kill Bill. And
her name's like Kill Bill. She's trying to kill a guy named Bill.
And then once Kill Bill has given her all of her knowledge, then the girl turns on her and kills her, and then they have one big battle to the end. Because then she reveals to her while they're training at the very end that I knew the whole time you were training me that you were the person I had to kill, and I used you over years to teach me what you knew, so we would have one epic battle at the end.
Now, Vince,
there you go.
Let me write this down so I can sell it to somebody and not give you no credit for it.
Yeah, well, that's Vince, what's going to happen.
It is perfect timing-wise. You could have an older Uma Thurman, which the Kill Bill 2, I don't know when.
She is older now, yeah. She wouldn't have to do anything.
Yeah, she wouldn't have to do anything. She is older.
She looks great.
Time-wise, that girl, let's say, was 11. You put 10 years, and then now she's 21. She's perfect fighting age, and then that girl, if she trained and she killed the old Japanese guy with the long beard, so she'd have to train somewhere else. But it does lend itself to a good revenge movie. Although Quentin Tarantino is not going to do that. He already basically told us he's doing one more movie and then he's out.
Yeah.
But I wonder if someone else could pull it off. I feel like some other director could do it.
I feel like there's almost no way of pulling that movie off without Quentin Tarantino's blessing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it would have to be Quentin Tarantino is a part of it. Like, I just don't see it possible. It just feels like it would be a cash grab if they did it any other way. And I also think that Quentin Tarantino, being as outspoken as he is, would speak up about it, and he wouldn't let the movie just go out and just be successful without his blessing. So I would hope that he reconsiders.
Does Tarantino have kids? He does, right?
I don't know. If he does, they're hideously ugly. Can I say that? That's rude, right? I shouldn't say that.
Well,
yeah. If they look like him, bad. I don't. He looks like Nosferatu to me.
Oh, wow.
Hey, did you know? Here's a fun fact. We can end on this because I know we're going to run out of time. At my daughter's favorite barbecue restaurant in right outside of Ellijay, Georgia, is where the Hateful Eight, where everyone would eat. Every night. So we sat in this booth that Kirk, what's the guy's name?
Kurt Russell.
Kurt Russell. We ate in the booth, and there's a picture of Kurt Russell eating barbecue, and Maisie's like, "Who's that?" And the whole restaurant is where all the guys from the Hateful Eight would go to eat.
They filmed it in Georgia.
Yeah, they filmed it in the.
I could have sworn it was in Dakota, in North Dakota. It was snowy and stuff. Wasn't it like it?
It was, but I think the beauty of movies is you can trick people into thinking where you're at, Vince.
Because the inside probably was in Georgia. But the outside could have been Georgia because Vince is right. The outside was a blizzard, it seemed like a Montana.
Yeah, I'm sure that you pick up those shots other places. You establish where you're at, and then the cabins are all in some cabin in Georgia.
Can I throw something at you real quick while we're talking about movies?
Yeah.
It's real quick on the way out. I was wondering if y'all think that this is a decent concept for a movie. This is out of a book that I picked up at the comic book shop. It's called Jesus Hates Zombies. Have y'all heard of this book?
No.
No.
Are you familiar? Are you the concept of zombies?
I thought Jesus was a zombie.
Well, to my point, listen to the preface. First words of the book. Jesus was the first zombie. Now, biblically correct, I'm going to argue against that as a preacher's son. I would say that it was Lazarus, but not to be completely
I like that. I like that. Get him.
At least the first famous one, the way I see it, Jesus Christ pulled a few nifty tricks in his time, turned water into booze and walked across the sea for starters, but saved the very best for last. He died, then came back. That makes him a zombie, right? I mean, this kind of what the book is saying. There's a whole bunch more, but I won't bore you out with everything. I'll just leave you with this one page because this is the one that actually took my attention. This is when Jesus actually decides, look, I'm coming back, and I know that the world is full of zombies, so that is what my new purpose is. It says, my name is Jesus Christ. This is the artwork, by the way. This is the graphic novel for those who are watching. I know that everybody can't, but if you go watch the link, which you should, on Tom and Dan's website, you'll see it. And it says, my name is Jesus Christ. Yes, that Jesus Christ. Go ahead. Get your damn chuckle in. I'll wait. You done? Good. The first time I came down here, it was to save your souls. This time I'm here to save your arses. No more mamby-pamby preaching about love and The touchy-feely days are gone. Zombies have taken over the world, and I'm here to take it back.
I'd read that. I will read that. I'll read that. That's got an Abraham's vampire slayer vibe to it.
Oh, Abraham Lincoln's in it. Lincoln is in it too, and he fights zombies and werewolves, and he's got a werewolf compadre. It's a whole.
Oh, I like all that.
Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah, I like that. Lincoln loved Jesus. Oh, he's a big Jesus guy. Yeah. Jesus didn't know Lincoln, but Lincoln was a huge Jesus guy.
He still has the nails in his hands, and then he's just hitting him on the head and killing him.
That's good.
Like,
except
he's
he'd
got
have
a
to.
bat made out of his crust.
Except he'd have to do it backwards, Tom.
Oh yeah.
He'd be like, he'd have to. He'd be like palm slapping everyone, which is cooler. It's almost like a gorilla. All right, we got to get out of here. Hey, thanks. We love talking to you, buddy. Plug everything that you do and where people can find you, Vince.
Hey, listen, therealvincetaylor.com or thenewbloodorder.com/live if you ever want to check out any of our content. Certainly appreciate always being on here with Tom and Dan. But that's it, man. That's it.
We appreciate you, man. All right.
Well, thank you, Vince.
Take care of yourself, and we'll see you soon, man. See you.
All right, man.
That is Vince Taylor.
All right. We will see you on Monday.